Hey, Sassy fam. Welcome to your Thursday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. As you see, we're much improved, feeling fantastic. And I can't help but attribute some of that, just a little bit, okay, to the full moon today, actually, under the sign of Aries. And Aries, of course, as some of you know, is my rising as well as my moon. And if you have any real strong Aries influence in your chart at all, you might appreciate then that kind of punch it can pack, yeah? It can be a very liberating experience. It's, let's do something, let's go. But specifically confrontation, okay, with the self. So some of you are feeling impatient with yourself these days. Why are we lingering on this? Why haven't we cleared that up? Why haven't we gotten more aggressive with this? How come I haven't gotten this resolved yet? That's what I'm talking about. That's that energy punch. I love it. It can get very confrontational, but you want to use it to your advantage. So hopefully we'll see some of that influence in your reads today. We're going to go ahead and do a layered reading, okay, for all 12 signs. And that's where we're going to layer out the baseline, layer out some advice, and then the oracles as well. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you on this board today that I did not see or personally call out, no worries. You reverse those energies as you see fit. Do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all, which I know is frustrating, but also normal. Check out the placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Like always, your sign will be timestamped in the description box as well as the comments because I got you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you at the Sunday check-in, and I will see you at your sign. Leo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on for Leo, please? Show me, Leo. Show me, Leo. What's going on for Leo, please? The Nine of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, Three of Swords, okay, and that's a lot of to and fro. Queen of Wands, the Eight of Swords, okay, the Three of Cups. Let's keep on. King of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, goodness gracious, and the Hermit, yeah. I can see that you have been back and forth in your energies. You're showing me a burst of action right here on the top line. In the general sense of things, I can see that you're frustrated, but you're having to act. Okay, speak and act, and I'm frustrated, and I'm trying to knock some sense into myself, the situation, of other people. And I'm not going to lie, honey, you look exhausted, but fighting the good fight. I just want that fight to be worth your while. So if you're telling me it is, okay. But there is also, in the way that you're approaching the situation, that might be reinforcing the pain instead of easing it. So let's do keep that in mind when we carry out our words and actions. I'm not criticizing you, but I am seeing that you're going full circle on a particular situation that I grant you looks very frustrating. If not in your mind, it's looking heavily like real world activity. You keep going around and around the same situation. And I can see that someone else is involved and contributing to, well, frankly, what looks like an ongoing aggressive or frustrating effort. And you are showing me, look, it needs to be done this way. And you keep coming back to a critical point over and over again. How can you interject a new thought or a new feeling, something that will help break up the behavior pattern in a situation or possibly with another person? Because you keep attacking with the same points, and then it comes full circle again. I hate seeing useless energy like that. And I know that your efforts feel blocked, and therefore you keep repeating it. Here's my point again. Okay? So again, what can you do to infuse a new thought, behavior, or action that can help get some headway into this situation? Okay? Because right now, it's like I'm doing the best I can, and then the frustration and the blockage still stands. So it's like you're going back to square one. We want to get you out of square one. Specifically, I want to get you out of that circle. Queen of Wands, Eight of Swords, the Three of Cups. It's almost like you're showing me, look, I arrived to that conclusion myself. I see that there is no new progress here. Maybe I can try something different. And you are switching up tactics. Something like, here's my point, I'm pressing it. Here's my action, I'm pressing it. Oh, I'm feeling blocked and rejected again in this situation. Back to square one. Here's my point again. So this time we're going to break it up. You're showing me, all right, I'm going to infuse some different energy into the situation. And you're leaning more towards positivity now. It looks like you'll be opting for this soon. So you going back and forth in your mind, if not in the 3D world, you decide to go ahead and soften up your energy a little bit. Now, I'm not saying you're conceding your point, because I can tell that whatever that argument is or that frustrating element is, it's important to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep going back to it. I got you. But it's going back to what I'm saying. How can we break it up and inject a new thought or feeling, something that allows us to see a different level of progress? Queen of Wands, Eight of Swords, Three of Cups. There's an admission here. I don't know, but I want to try. So now we have some positivity here. Your much more natural state of grace energy is there as well. Some confidence, some enthusiasm. Okay, Three of Cups. Let's open up to this. Let's get a little softer with it. And who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's like I'm not going to keep bringing the same point or the same point of reference or keep relying on the same frame of action. Let's try to connect with this a little more softly, a little more quietly, and a little bit more of a good-spirited nature. And maybe we'll see some progress, but you're not assuming. But you are trying to switch up your tactics, okay? King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, the Hermit. And we have success. We have success. And I don't quite know what this is. It does look like it requires the influence of someone else to participate, but the results are in here, all right, towards the bottom line, which I know doesn't seem like it's over-the-top joyous, but it's progress nonetheless. And you see what happens here, a little bit of influence, doing something a little differently can go a long way, right? King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, the Hermit. Great, great. We're feeling a lot more practical, and you can see for yourself, oh, there's results here. This feels a lot more comfortable because it looks like something here at long last, a sore point, is getting addressed with the Hermit. So here we have the opportunity to clean up the misgivings of our mind. Here we have the opportunity to clean up our sorrows. And King of Pentacles is sitting pretty there because it's like, okay, based on experience, I can see that progress is being made and it's felt like it's being made. This doesn't feel so repetitious, blockage, and negative like it did on the top line. No, no, no. There's absolute recognition here that positive progress is being made about a situation or circumstance for which it looks like you've been running around like a chicken with its head's cut off, right? Still going for the same solution, same point, and it's not happening. So the second you got here, okay, and you decided to soften that energy and connect with it with a little bit more of an open space and positive feeling, boom, we started to get results. Okay, you can see it and feel it for yourself, and therefore feeling a lot more comfortable about whatever the heck the situation is. So I don't know what that infusion was, except that it's lightness and a certain sense to connect with this a little bit more emotionally on a generous side of things, a lighter side of things, a softer side of things. And with an admission, yeah, I may not see where this is going, but it beats doing the same thing. I agree. Let's get some advice. I think you've done a pretty good job. I like how the Hermit is doing his job, and he's creating the soothing effect and taking away the worries and the emotional sadness and loss. Enough so that we can see it for ourselves and feel confident, or rather better positioned about whatever the situation is. And that's good. Okay. That top line is fussy, it's busy, it's frustrating. Part of it is internal dialogue that you try to suppress. Other parts of it is your real-world actions that still aren't accumulating that much and you're still feeling blocked. Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Empress. Yeah, I know that this is important to you. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be fussing this much, right? And it is important to you. And while it may not seem much, it might seem very meager. Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. You know, it feels like our efforts here are ultimately blocked, but there is a higher goal here as the Empress. I know this means a lot to you. And it's frustrating, guys. We're looking at this is not easy. This kind of requires a lot of hard labor in the respect of I need to get these results back on track in a way that I can understand them with this person. And I think if it was for anything less than that Empress figure, I don't know that necessarily this Leo would be busting their chops this hard. Nevertheless, there's progress here, no matter how frustrating it gets. Just make sure it's returned to you. And once we have that softening element, and you choose to connect with this in a way that's a little bit, like I said, receptive to positivity and optimism, make sure it's returned to you. I believe so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this healing effect. All right? But if it's non-cooperative, no matter how much you switch it up or try to meet it halfway, then you have an answer. All right? Slow growth in this respect is better than no growth. At least that's for the Leo I'm looking at. You have choice in all things. I'm not telling you what to do. Simply the advice being, yeah, it's a struggle, so you better know that it's worth it. Okay? All right. Anything else in here? I'm going to push your advice today. Your last check-in was so perfunctory. I think it was literally the shortest on record for me. And here we are pushing for you today, right? You know, there you go. Oh, the collective shift their energies all the time. Some folks need a little more, some folks need a little less. The Devil, Four of Wands, the Hermit. Whatever has been sitting as a negative sore point in this relationship, and the relationship is literally between two, however those two define it, whatever that sore point, yeah, there's a lot of repetition in here. I'm not saying it's toxic. I'm saying repetitious behavior patterns that just kept us in the same position. That's the Devil. We're not willing to switch up our game, but we kept pressing our point. Okay, so the minute, and I believe that's you decided to approach this differently, look how much has changed. The Hermit came out and did his job. Some Devils are actually quite manageable. Okay. And here, it was doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Right? And now we have a proper healing effect over this relationship construct. There's that Hermit again. Once more. Okay? We are very much on the right track with whatever this difficult situation is. You're going to make a lot more progress starting right around here. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do a time check on that. I am a bit curious. When we soften towards this, once more, tarot does not dictate action, you do. If it's not yours, it's not yours. Don't worry about it. Within 10 years. How long has this been going on? Oh, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Progress is progress. And for some of you, it began in August. Okay? For some of you, this has been an ongoing struggle of repetitious behavior patterns and some sort of relationship construct for the past 10 years, and really having to dig deep to get to the root of them. That's a lot of work, my friends. Some of you, it began in earnest in August. Okay? Very good. Very good. My goodness. Wow. Once more, a relationship is between two people, how they define it. All I can tell you is that it's a little closer to home. All right? Number 51, stars in the sky, limitless possibility. Yes, if we're willing to meditate, be calm, and be peaceful in the subject, we can see how the bridge connects us between one point and the next. Okay? And right there is where we need to be. Understanding the possibilities in this if we're willing to look at things differently. Number 51. Okay. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, what's going on? Show me Saggy, please. What's going on for Sagittarius? Show me Saggy. The Emperor, the Magician, the World, Two of Swords. Okay, King of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man, Justice, the Wheel of Fortune. My. Yeah, this is demonstrating some elements of its time. We've been feeling it. I think we've thought as much as we possibly can on this subject. Okay, so let's back up. The Emperor, the Magician, the World, the Two of Swords. What you're showing me is I'm standing my power and I'm openly manifesting. And you're just like, the day of confusion is over. There's something here that we have finally come to rest on a particular subject. And there was a lot of, I don't know about this. And the Emperor says, well, now I know. I know enough and feel confident enough to directly manifest. So the time of indecision is over. Okay, and that's beautiful. So here we have the fullness of knowing and the spirit of one's will to back it up, to summon forth, and from the seat of our power, from the seat of our throne. The cycle then represents the closing of confusion. So here we are on point. I know what I want versus I didn't know. And perhaps we didn't know for a long time. Well, those days are now over. So whatever it is we didn't know, confused about, we're now demonstrating the opposite of that. Very powerfully so, I might add. And what is the subject matter? Well, it seems love, King of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. We have rested a lot in our heart space, a lot, about what to do, what to do. Did you notice that the twos are at the end lines here? Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So we've been going back and forth in our feelings over a particular subject for years. All right? Specifically, what does it mean and what do I do with it, even if I know what it means? And that's an internal dialogue that many of you have had. Okay? And it meant something to you. I need to know my feelings. Okay, now that I know my feelings, what does that mean in the real world? It's looking like your heart space has blissfully, I mean blissfully, come to rest on a particular subject about love. What you feel and what perhaps you received in the past. And you can comfortably say, I'm at rest with it, I'm at peace with it. I claim my side of the fence in terms of feelings. I know what that is now. The days of confusion are over. And therefore what to do with this, I'm no longer confused, you're saying. Right? So it's a beautiful acceptance of what we feel with the fullness of our heart, specifically for ourselves first, and then in context to a situation second. And you've kind of concluded roughly here, roughly translating, because I know I love myself. In some way, I love this, or loved whatever that is outside of you. And because you have sat in that knowledge now so comfortably through an extended period of healing and resting on the subject, you seem to be really at peace with the subject, because your bottom row says it was inevitable. It was an inevitable conclusion. Ace of Swords and the Hanged Man, having given this a great deal of thought, you're saying, I'm very comfortable with what I know now. And you're still learning from it. You are still learning from it. But the point is, in accepting this knowledge and accepting the feeling, you're at peace with it. Karmically speaking, you're at peace with your lessons about love, love with the self, and your confusion. What you're openly manifesting, it seems like what's due you. Okay? Justice in the Wheel of Fortune, what's due to you, what's right for you, in love or otherwise. You're not forcing the subject, and you're not aiming at anyone specific, which is good, nor should you. But you're saying, I know what I know now about what it is to love, and to love myself first, and therefore how I loved another situation or another person. I'm comfortable with what I know now. And there's a reflection here with the Wheel of Fortune. What is due me will be due to me in due time, in due course. And that's good. It's very open-ended to suggestions. It's not, again, specifically aimed at any one person. It's just how you used to question your love, I have no doubt, involves someone else. But it really came down to how you understood you loved yourself. And now that you're at peace with the subject, you're showing me I just want what's correct for me in future, based on what I learned from the past. It needs to be correct. And that's it. It needs to be correct for me. I loved what I loved, and I understand that now about myself. So what you're openly manifesting from a place of empowerment is simply that which you concluded is right for you, and only that is which is right for you. Nothing else, no substitutes. If we were doing an in-depth, I have no doubt I would call yours that. No substitutes, just what's right for me. That's it. You know? And I think that's very beautiful of you. I think that's very bold of you. And let's get some advice. I like to see it's so powerful, guys. I wish you could appreciate. I hope that you do. If you practice tarot, perhaps you understand Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man, Justice, the Wheel of Fortune. And it's not insubstantial knowledge at all. You feel karmically balanced in your heart space. You have received so much clarity over the past, I don't know how many seasons, maybe years, that you feel so comfortable openly manifesting only that which is correct for you and nothing else. Because you understand now how you love yourself, and there's no more confusion about it. I know it involves someone else in that lesson, but I'm not focusing on them. You already know that person who was involved in your lesson. It's more about what you learned from it, specifically about what's right for you. Never otherwise. That's why I don't see you pointing at anyone. It's literally open to suggestion from the universe, you know? Let's get some advice, please. It's quite lovely, actually. I think it's a good example of someone, people, who took the time to learn things about the origin of their heart space and what they love and who they love and why and how it relates back to them. And then they start to understand things most people just don't get. Which isn't a challenge, it's just the truth. You know? From all this love, I understand more about myself now. And you're balanced. You're karmically balanced. It's gorgeous. And that's when you learn to accept only that which is meant to be in your life and therefore in your heart and nothing else. No other substitutes will be allowed. You don't have to force the subject. You can either love something or somebody the way you would love yourself, or you can't. And therefore you kind of understand who's supposed to be in your life and who isn't, you know? But I do agree with you. There is a lot of what's due, what's right for you in time. Five of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant. There is commitment further out for you, I have no doubt. But you're showing me over time, okay, you had to learn the hard way about self-sabotaging tendencies, okay, to misconstrue things from the mind, right? I'm manifesting this because I feel strongly for it, even though it's probably not for me, but I'm not going to allow myself to realize that or think about it, right? And this is the thing that we had to learn to overcome. A sense of perhaps winning at all costs, despite that there are some glaring faults in there about what we're loving and why, or attracting and why, not wanting to see it, not really wanting to get confrontational with it. That took a long time to understand where it was coming from, and it's not a reflection of self-love, right? If we have to tell ourselves this person's for us or this situation's for us, and we have to really tell ourselves that a lot, that kind of knowledge or insight doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the heart. And it took a long time of clearing up the self-doubt and confusion and the self-sabotaging tendencies to understand we are meant to love people like we love ourselves. And the more we understand we love ourselves, we understand who should be on the other side or the receiving end of it. We don't have to tell ourselves anything. Hence, your bottom line, open to suggestions for the real thing, what's due you in due course. And in due course, there is a sense of commitment there with the Hierophant. That's further down the line. But for now, it's enough for you. I believe that you have mastered these lessons. I'd like to push the point just a little more. Seven of Cups, the Stars, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I really want you to focus with where it is you should be, remaining open. Remaining open to hopes, dreams, and desires, and taking action towards them thusly. It's not enough to just wish it and feel it. You got to act on it too. So that's where you are. You're feeling about this as your space right now, just being open to the universe for influence, guidance, love, desires, hopes, dreams, the longevity, specifically with the stars being open towards it. Okay? That's your objective right now. And that's exactly where you need to be. Like I said, you've come a long way. And the fact that you are so open to the universe, I only want to summon forth that which is correct for me. That's it. I've learned my lessons. If I have to cling to it, hold on to it, or talk myself into or out of it, those days are over. All it did was make me confused about myself, what I was doing, and why. We're not doing that anymore. We're just going to keep ourselves open. And if it feels correct, it probably is. The second the mind tries to take over the conversation, it's probably not correct. And it's best left alone. Okay? I like that you're just beautifully keeping yourself open to suggestions, particularly as it relates to your desires. hopes, and love. Not pushing any particular cup, but indeed taking action towards your love and your hopes, dream fulfillment, wish fulfillment. I like how you're taking suggestions actively. And you had to earn that space, okay? You had to earn that space, that sense of calmness. On a Monday, very specifically, on a Monday. What's up on a Monday? What's going on? What's going on? Anything else at sunrise for some of you? Some of you at night. In September, there might have been some very interesting energies for some of you on a Monday in September, this past September, or perhaps in a year from now. And it could simply be that for some of you, number 9 is a reflection. Interesting. I think some of you really understood how much progress you have made last September, and I can't say I blame anyone for that. September is an extremely powerful month, the 9th. Any representation of 9 represents the height of, okay, right before we roll over into a 10, which sets us up for aces, things like that. Anyway, okay, let's keep on keeping on. I can get lost in that kind of stuff forever, you know? But these are check-ins. These are check-ins. Number 58, the vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. Exactly. Beautiful. Well done. Well done. Ego sublimation. The 58. Ego is absolutely, now don't get me wrong, we need ego to be alive. Okay? Without it, human beings, we would not be alive. We all need ego. But like all things in life, as in nature, there is a black and white. Depending on what we do with our ego, it can either be healthy, such as strength, okay? Will of conviction. This is what I need to do to stay alive. I have a right to. I deserve it. This is my life. This is what I'm trying to do. And then there's negative. I'm telling myself these things in order to justify in my mind what I think is correct. And this is where we need ego sublimation, the vanishing mirror. We no longer see ourselves the same way. We no longer perceive ourselves the same way. Our sense of motivation, what we do and why we do it, is different in many critical ways for you. That's allowed you to relax and say, what is for me is for me. I remain open. That's it. It's beautiful. And that's a hard thing, to really look in the mirror. And if we do not like what we see, and we can be honest with ourselves, we smash it. We start to see ourselves correctly. It's beautiful. Okay, number 58. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, happy full moon. Oh, FYI, if you have any prominent Sag in your chart, perhaps check this out. Your power card came out first card, first draw, first placement. So, FYI, okay? What is going on for Aries? Show me Aries, please. Show me Aries. What is going on for Aries? One more. Show me Aries, please. Oh, very good. Eight of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. You want to talk to somebody? Someone will talk to you? All right, lovers, like I said, you want to talk to somebody? Someone to talk to you? 10 of Cups, the Hanged Man. Okay, 2 of Cups. The Page of Swords is 6 of Swords. Okay, the World. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I see somebody talking themselves into it and then talking themselves out of it, which is something I always strongly advise against. It sucks, too, because things were just lifting off the ground. Anyway, I'm sorry, let me back up. 8 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, King of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, so that's some beautiful energy right there. You're showing me a strong sense of confidence of self, that you're happy with who you are. If you don't love who you are, you ought to, right? You're just beautiful, shiny, confident sense of self, established too with the 9 of Pentacles, you know? Very independent you are, which is very much what I would associate with Aries. You got a can-do attitude. Okay, ambition, focus, but an overall happy, optimistic disposition. It's like, I like me, I like where I'm at, and P.S., I do okay. I do well for myself. I love it. I love that kind of independent energy. I got you. Eight of Wands, Four of Pentacles, you receive something. I see you receiving it. And you're like, oh, what's this? You know, you just being you. And it's like, oh, what's up with this? It's partial. It's not fully exposed communication. Four of Pentacles, someone, even as they're speaking to you, is holding back. So I don't know if that's necessarily a love situation. You interpret it as you see. It could apply to work too. Like, yeah, you're receiving communication, but it's not fully developed. There's parts of it that are still being held back. It's the theory of the Eight of Wands is like, here it goes. And then the Four of Pentacles. So somebody put some work into it. But it's like, if you're going to talk, say what you're going to say, honey. It's like, don't cut your words in half. Don't cut your thoughts in half. And I'm seeing for you partial communication. If it hasn't landed yet, then it should soon. Okay. I don't know. I don't know that it's enough for you to work with or for you to give it any more consideration. Because I don't see that being your focus. It didn't seem to be enough to stop you and to give you its full weight or attention, because I see you focused on other things. The Lovers, Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man. Man, that's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, darling. You seem to be really emotionally invested into something that you harmonize with very strongly. And typically I see something with the Lovers as being this, it's broken, it's disconnected at the moment. It's a very, very strong connection that can therefore create very strong reactions. And so people often spend a great deal of time trying to contemplate it and learn from it, or so on and so forth. Point is that your Lover's connection is actually fully engaged at the highest levels. At the Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man, you're like, this is where I'm trying to be. I'm not going nowhere. You're like, I'm feeling love full time. Who wants to leave that? And I don't blame you. This is you independently as a person receiving some sort of partial communication. It's something, but it doesn't seem to fully sink your attention. It doesn't seem to stop you in your tracks, make you notice it too much. So I don't know who or what it's coming from, but your reaction is spiritually and emotionally, this is where I'm at. And there's not much to compete with. There is no competition. It's the Lovers, Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man. You're literally telling me I'm on pause with this because I want to be. This is where I want to be full time. You're in harmony, very much so. I mean, that's active, harmonious state between yourself and someone else that look like it's highly connected. It's gorgeous. And it's gorgeous. And you're showing me Ten of Cups. All is well with this person. Why would I want to leave this? You're in a nice cocoon state of love, balance, and harmony. It's like, why would you leave that? Why would you leave that lovely, warm blanket? You think about it all the time. You reflect on it all the time. You reflect specifically about how gosh darn happy you are. So, I mean, and how much specifically this brings you peace, and that this would be an impossible construct without this particular lover. So when the lovers harmonize, it's our greatest reward. And I tell that to people because I usually don't see the greatest reward. I usually see the strongest, most adverse connection because, like I said, when those two forces meet, ideally they line up like this, but they can, just for that same reason, push each other apart. So you're one of those folks that I actually see you lined up with your person, and it's gorgeous. So why would you want to leave this? It's gorgeous. It's supportive. You give to it, it gives back to you, and you interlock gorgeously. So whatever this is, your reaction is, oh, okay. But there doesn't seem to be much to work with there. Okay? You're just showing me high levels of connectivity with something that is so beautifully, I'm going to say radically, emotionally and spiritually supportive. And then we get down here to this bottom row, and it just, my energy for this dropped because it's sad. It's sad. But, you know, whatever this is, you're not giving, not this piece. Okay? Let me make that clear because I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay? We take that piece out. This is not going anywhere. You made that very clear to me. Okay? Do you see how these two are related? The top row and the bottom row. Your midline is the most beautiful, velvety, gorgeous, sumptuous, loving pillow cushion I've ever seen in my life. That's not going anywhere, okay? Down here, these two are related. Whatever it is that gave you partial communication, partial something, You are dismissing it, but you're dismissing it gently. You're not giving it any of your time, energy, and effort. You're saying whatever it is you're trying to tell me is too small. Whatever it is you're trying to convey to me is too small. And there is an appreciation here of care in some way between these two. I don't know what it is. Whoever it is that refrained, is that what you're giving no attention to? Page of Swords, Six of Swords, the world. It's very gently, without acknowledging it, not really. I'm going to go ahead and leave this behind. And you're showing me something I tell people all the time. You get to choose your level of participation, and you're saying, I'm not going to participate. Okay. You seem to stop long enough to acknowledge their words, which again are partial. They feel the need to protect themselves even while they're trying to open up. And there is some sense of emotional appreciation you have between yourself and this person, but either their actions or their words were too small or too hidden. It's just too hidden as far as I can tell. It's not enough for you to work with or consider it or give it any more of your thoughts. Okay. You might have given it more of your thought or action if they had not withheld, but as it were, it just seems like you don't have enough to work with for this to sink your attention. I see you leaving behind that level of participation that once more has nothing to do with your beautiful, beautiful, velvety, loving cushion that you have here with this person. This is in respect or response to this, or rather, you're kind of giving back to it what it gave to you. Not much. Okay. So I tell people all the time, if you really have something to say, you need to say it. If you hold back, the other person, if they're in tune with that, it's like, I know you're holding back and I know there's more in you, but I'm not going to coax it out of you. If you can't speak up, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. You know? That's why I say you got to tell people you have to say what it is you need to say. You have to. It doesn't have to be cruel. It doesn't have to be angry. But it can get to the point. All we can do is represent ourselves to the best of our abilities. And it's up to the other receiving end to either give back to that or not. So you might as well represent yourself. Okay. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. Let's get some advice, please. King of Swords, the Tower, Temperance. Okay. That's an active decision on your part. It's internal. You're not expressing it. Like I said, you gently give this no attention. You just kind of withdraw from it. This was your process behind that, I believe, and that your process is correct. King of Swords, the Tower, and Temperance. You have decided that it's best to not give this patience or temperance or healing. It's best not to. Or that it would be false to do this, destructive to do this. And this is, I have this kind of advice or commentary with people all the time. I'm going to give it patience. Why? Has it given you patience? Has it given you healing? Has it given you love? Has it given you compassion? Has it given you reason to give to it what you're about to demonstrate? Because someone who has, then they're worthy of the same. If they're not, you need to make that decision. You know, because it's going to be your patience, your time, energy, and effort to help someone heal who, can you honestly say they would give it to you? If they can't even give you the full extent of their thoughts, why would you give them that much consideration? So, if you've ever been in that situation, it's like, I care about you, but I know you wouldn't do this for me. It might be a waste of your time or your resources or your energy or, frankly, your love and compassion. Okay. I think you did a great job of getting to the point on that one in terms of your advice, that you are, I believe correct in this. Okay. You're saying you have to know what matters. This connection that you have here that's beautiful, that indeed is worthy of temperance. Give back what gives to you. Okay? Someone can't even give you the full respect of their thoughts or their words. Why should you give more than what you were given? You know? I agree with your decision there. But the way you leave it behind is gentle, okay? You're not letting this person know, really. Yeah, let's get some time, please. No? For some of you, November. That's it. That was the only drop. Okay. Let's do that one more time. The deep quiet, meditation, stillness. When you receive this again, November 11. Okay, for some of you that's dead on bang in terms of the time frame. The deep quiet, meditation, stillness. You take this seriously. You do. When you receive this partial communication, you do receive it with goodwill. Almost curious too. But you know, whatever this is it's enough to disturb what you have in place. A lot of harmony, a lot of love. You arrive to the conclusion that you arrive. It would be folly to give this patience and compassion and healing. It probably wouldn't do the same to me. You gently leave it behind. You do not participate. Okay? Tarot doesn't dictate action. You do. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. Yours was very distinct today. Sometimes they can be extremely vague, like Leo's. I felt it was vague just because I couldn't pinpoint it, which drives me crazy, but that's also real tarot too. And then yours is very specific. There's a lot going on here, but I think you made a lot of good work, a lot of good decision making in this. Okay. And I agree with your decision. If you had thought that this was worth more, you would have given it more. You just seem to know that whatever this is a limited experience, partial experience, or just frankly isn't worth it. Okay, I hope this helped you. Happy full moon once more. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, what's up? What's going on? Show me Aquarius, please. Show me Aquarius. What is going on? Sounds like we got an overhead plane. Show me Aquarius, please. One more. All right. Knight of Cups, the Magician, Two of Pentacles, the Sun. All right, fair. Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, Temperance. All right, also fair. Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Good. And the Devil. Okay. That's interesting. But, man, you're really embracing knowledge here today. So that's good. Whatever this is isn't going to linger too long, at least on that bottom row. But, back up. Knight of Cups, the Magician, Two of Pentacles, the Sun. You know, in a way that's not too pressing, you're saying I'm open. I'm open to emotionality. I'm open to receive love. I'm open to expressing myself personally with the Knight of Cups. You're like, let's do it. Let's bring it on. The Magician, Two of Pentacles, the Sun. And you want to be happy. You want to be happy in love. And you want to feel confident about what you're summoning forth. Now you're saying, okay, objectively, it's been difficult with the Two of Pentacles. You're saying you don't get a lot of clear results. It's like, when is it going to come forward in a way that I understand it? Okay, give it time. There's something here we need to acknowledge, all right? But give it time. Continue on with the best manifestation efforts from your heart and make sure that it has a comfortable place to go and that you feel comfortable being vulnerable, that you are indeed comfortable not just expressing yourself, but receiving someone's love energy too. And when you understand those concepts and understand that it's not just about who you feel comfortable with, but who you would allow to open up towards you, then you're going to start seeing progress, all right? Because I get it. You're not getting clear results about happiness, but you're still open to trying with the Magician. Yeah, just make sure that, like I said, your heart space is fully open, correct, and that you are willing to receive someone else's. And if you're getting signals that you should not receive someone else's love energy, then you don't need to question it too deeply, okay? And you yourself, if you don't feel comfortable giving it to someone else, then you can shut that one off too. You don't have to do this Two of Pentacles thing, honey. Either something hits right in terms of happiness and you want more of it, or you don't. That's it. Right? So that Knight of Cups here in this respect is going to work both ways. What you're putting out, that's open, soft, and vulnerable, and what you are willing to receive. Okay? And if you're not willing to put it out, or someone's not willing to give it to you, there you go. You can discontinue that particular adventure, readjust your manifestation efforts, and that's it, okay? Because you're going to learn a little bit more every time you participate, and that's the idea, okay? Now, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Temperance. There's some stress here around work, but you are literally working through it. You're on top of that. You made that very, very, very clear to me. In regards to your actual 3D energy, time, energy, and effort, Eight of Pentacles suggesting a level of practicality for which you experienced on the day-to-day. You're saying there's some stress there. Nine of Swords. There's some stress. I got stress. You know, work ain't been easy, but you're also saying temperance. You've been through that particular rodeo before. You've been through that particular stress bracket before. You're working on it right now as we speak in terms of the soothing effect. You know to show this patience for some reason. So that tells me perhaps you're at the height of stress at work and you know it and you've been working through it, or this is a regular occurrence for you this time of year. Okay. And it's already coming down. You're showing this a lot more patience, right? A lot more compassion for yourself and your particular endeavors. You're saying, I know it's hard right now, but this too shall pass. So, however it is at work for you, you're already anticipating clearer days, which is good. I like that. Now, Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Devil. Here you are getting very confrontational with the truth, and it's an uncomfortable one. And you're saying, I can't keep putting it off. You've turned your back on it. So you're like, I can't keep ignoring something. You're actually getting very confrontational with a particular devil here. Now, I don't know if that devil's inside you, be it internal thought construct that you have been working through, or it's an external one that you are finally acknowledging. I'm actually leaning towards an external, and I don't know why. Because that's open acknowledgement. That's your master symbol with the Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords. Getting very confrontational here, at least from the mental point of view, about something that we've been trying to avoid. And this is the opposite of being open to emotionality. This is something like you saying, I've been meaning to address this for a long time, and I don't know what it is. You showed me that you kind of more or less have it at work, that you got it, right? It just needs a little more patience, a little bit more due diligence. The worrisome nights are okay. I can handle that. You were very clear about that. When it comes to this work element, you're like, I got it. Sometimes it stresses me out, but I got it. Temperance, that's a non-issue for you. All right? Even though sometimes it gets very anxious. No, this is something else that seems to be outside you because, again, the way you're pointing your mind is outside. As the Devil. There is something here for which I say you getting confrontational with. You're like, I've been putting it off. I can't do that anymore. You don't want to. It's interesting. Your opening segment in and of itself was quite vulnerable to me about what it is that you're interested in love and how you've been struggling with it, but you try to keep yourself open towards it, okay? And it's not straightforward, and I agree with you. It's not straightforward. But the thing is, if you have to question it too deeply, then it's probably not correct, okay? Is this going to make me happy? If you're already asking that, the answer is probably no. You seem to know this, so don't linger too long in that thought, that feeling, okay? Just readjust your manifestation. Was like, well, now I know I don't want that. Let's try it over here. Cool. So what that bottom line is to you, I don't know. But it feels like it's overdue. And in your mind, more to the point, it looks like it's an overdue subject. So I don't know what situation or person or circumstance is going to get the full measure of your thoughts, but oh boy, do you cut to the quick. And it's looking like it's necessary in this situation. So whatever that is, good luck to you. It seems like you have a lot at your disposal in terms of being logical and also confrontational. This is what I know, and this is why I'm addressing you or that right now, or to this day, or whatever this is. Okay, let's get some advice. I'm terribly curious. Excuse me. You showed me a couple of facets of yourself today, what you're trying to achieve personally. Excuse me once more. A bit of work, which you're on top of, and a particular sticking point that even you're like, I need to address this. That's coming up for you soon. I haven't seen it happen yet. It's soon. Three of Wands, the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, you are very much determined to continue on your own particular path. You've already decided upon this as well. And you like it. You like your path that you're on. Granted, your emotional self is still trying to find a place that you can expand to comfortably and you don't have to question too deeply. And there's stress at work, but you literally got it. You're saying for the most part, you like your life just where it is. And you're going to continue on in your path at your energetic level for which you are comfortable. So it's not really waiting here. It's the anticipation of more to come. But you're also going at your own particular pace. And you're showing me a sense of passion and ambition to achieve these things that are important to you. So you're just like, I like the path I'm on. You don't disagree with it. Okay? Which is cool. I like that. There's one element here that you don't like. And you're going to be confrontational with it. It seems to be anti your path. Okay? So yeah, while your love life might not be the most straightforward, you're keeping an open heart towards it, particularly as regards to your happiness. Work, you got it. Okay? You're saying you don't want your life any other way. You like it. You like who you are. You like how you feel. And you like how things are moving at a particular pace. It's somewhere between what you want and taking your time with it. So that's good. That's good. And your advice then is to keep on in that way. I'd like a little bit more advice on that which ails you, though. Can I get a little bit more on that, Devil, please? There's that truth again, the Ace of Swords. What of it? What's in this truth? Six of Swords is in reverse. My. Okay. I got it. Okay. King of Wands, the Hermit. You are determined to do what's right for you. Healing here. It's, for me, okay, so that Six of Swords was in reverse, and the Ace of Swords is in the upright. Okay. What you're getting confrontational on, like I said, it's outside of you. I just had that feeling. It's the devil. There's a truth in here that whatever this devil is has yet to move on, despite it said that it has, and it hasn't, and you are confronting it directly. You said that you would move on from this topic. You said you would move on from this behavior. You said that you would just move on in the general sense. You said that you would leave me alone. You said that your thoughts were no longer about this, that, and the other. And you're calling it out on somebody. You're calling them out on it. And it's something that you need to do, apparently. It's going to make you feel better if you do. So that would explain, is something that we've been avoiding. But as part of you kind of taking reign or control of your life, this is something that you need to do for yourself, okay? And it might even help them too if you get confrontational on it. You said you were going to move on or do this or stop doing that, and you haven't. And it is confrontational. It's looking like it will help, you know? We stop avoiding the topic and we address it directly. That should help, okay? So I don't quite know what that is to you, but you would. It's very distinct, okay? Very distinct. Otherwise, continue to go on your own particular path at your own particular pace. You're dead on bang about that one. When you're able to consistently emotionally open up towards someone and feel good about it, I don't know. But continue to make progress in it. You'll be fine. You already know that, though. You already know that. Any significant timing here? Okay, within a month. For some of you, last August was important, and for some of you, August by next year. August by next year. I don't know what's in reference to, but for some of, I'm not going to lie, I was looking at that Ace of Swords twice there. For some of you, that confrontational conversation happens within a month. It looks like it's needed too. And this could be better perspective love energies for you. By a month, who knows? Okay, but I do feel like that's a external confrontation. Yeah, that feels about right. About a month. Okay, that's for some of you though. All right. Tarot does not dictate action. You do, yes. There's proof of choice, not the absence of it. What's going on? Okay, number 58. Yeah, somebody else had this already with a fire sign. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, number 58. Doing away with false beliefs that cater to the bad side of our ego. Once more, all human beings have ego because it's necessary to be alive. Okay? And like all things in nature, there's a good version and there's a bad version, a black and white, if you will. So there's good ego, positive ego, healthy ego, and then there's negative ego. And we're doing away with negative ego here, that we can better see ourselves, who we really are when we look in the mirror, not the person we are hoping to see, covering up our illusions and our faults and whatever. No. Getting really confrontational here, smashing the illusion, smashing the glass, or it could be with that devil that I see external from you, copying somebody on their false sense of ego. You said you'd move on, but you didn't. Let's talk about that and kind of vanish this idea of they have themselves about why they haven't. You know, something to do with the excuses in there. Let's do one more, 58 and number 40, mindful groupthink. Very colorful, very vibrant. That's a groupthink. Yeah, I know. That's very Aquarius, isn't it? You're being very mindful. Who you are, what you're doing and why, what you're growing and why, your particular vibrancy and why. You're not an island. No, of course not. You tend to be very mindful about what other people think, but also valuing what you think too, because you're part of that, what it is that's grown here. Some of you have very colorful imaginations, very colorful minds. Number 40. Okay. Aquarius, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Gemini, please. Show me Gemini. Very good. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and Nine of Cups. I like that. It's really nice. The Chariot, the Fool, the King of Swords. Whoa, look at you. Look at Gemini. Whoa. Two of Swords. Okay. Four of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Okay. All right, so you've been working on something, and it's both internal as well as external, so it's a little bit of both, and that's fine. Ace of Cups, I can handle it. Ace of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and Nine of Cups. Man, so metaphorically, have you been working through your heart space? Yes, and it's gorgeous, it's fat, it's juicy, it's overflowing, and that's on the inside, and you feel it. You're like, man, I got a big old heart space these days, and oh, it feels so good. And then also you've been pouring a lot of that love, or offshoring a lot of that love that you have for yourself and just what you're feeling into work. And that has been very restorative for some of you, Four of Swords. So some of you are just like, I feel so much, I got to put it into my work. And then that's a good reflection of how you love yourself, is how you love your work. And it feeds back into you in this healthy loop of, I love what I do what I love. And then also there is repairs, are repairs that you have been making in your heart that's been priming you and priming you and priming you for what looks like new love. So it's all flowing into each other. It's the domino effect here. Okay, a lot of you take pride in what you do, and the natural love you have for your work and you have for yourself flows into that, and it feeds back to you in positive results, and you have a sense of accomplishment that you take pride in on the inside. It makes you feel at peace with what you do. It makes you feel reflective about what you do. It's comprehensive. How you view your work is how you view yourself, and you love these things about you. You take a lot of pride in what you do, but it's very much on the inside, and then it goes back into your work. And then in that same respect, though, taking it out of reality and back into the metaphor, showing this much love to yourself and what it is that you do and how you rest on it, reflect on it, there's a sense of pride here and a healthy sense of flow and how you love yourself that is priming you, like I said, for love. New love, too. Right? You don't want it to just be a closed circuit of how you love yourself, which is fantastic. A big part of you is wanting to share it these days. And it looks so lovely and warm. And you're like, I was just trying to put a little bit more appreciation in what I do, Christina. Yeah. But you also want someone to appreciate what it is that you do. And it's for all the right reasons. It's all the healthy reasons. You have so much goodness in you to give the best of what you do every day into your work. And then you're like, but, you know, if you love what you do, you never really have to work again a day in your life, that old adage, that old saying. And so you have such a beautiful circuit of self and what motivates you. But your heart's looking so full these days, and it's feeling so full these days. It's like, it would be nice to share that with somebody who appreciates it, who gets it. You're very considerate. You're very considerate. The Chariot, the Fool, King of Swords. Oh, man. Wouldn't we love to pay good money? Okay, to bottle the essence of that. And we could consume it so people could know what that feels like. What a punch in the heart. A good kind. A punch in the spirit. Like I said, I mean, to bottle that, to put a label on it. You know? Oh, shoulder. Oh, yeah. That's how it is these days. Don't get me wrong, for those who remember my shoulder surgery, it's fine. It's just the joint itself still pops. It's unrelated. But, yeah, that's normal. Doesn't hurt. The Chariot, the Fool, and the King of Swords. Wow. Wow. Such a strong determination to open up towards what you feel. Mentally, you acknowledge it. Spiritually, you acknowledge it. Emotionally, you acknowledge it. Goodness gracious. It's like there's no stopping what you feel. You really want to open up so boldly. I don't know where you're going, honey, but it won't be boring. That's paraphrasing David Bowie quote. I don't know where I'm going, but I promise you it won't be boring. Something like that. Anyway, that's what it's so gorgeous. It's so bold. It's beautiful, and it's a reflection of all your hard work, and your heart's so full, and you want to share that. And I don't know who you want to share it with. Maybe you don't know either. But the point is that you're open. I don't know who's going to be on the lovely end of that attention and your determination, but man, it's good. You know, you look like a tall glass of water on a hot day. That's what you look like. Yes, honey, gorgeous. Now, let's jump on down to this bottom row. Little different. Wee bit different. 2 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Completely different. And it literally involves the space of 2. 2, 4, 2, 4. Okay. There's a space that you occupy with somebody that's not going well at all. And that is 3D. That's not spiritual. There's spiritual elements, of course, but mostly it's emotional and 3D. It's disappointing on both sides. It's unhappy on both sides. And it's confused on both sides. It seems to be something that still exists in your reality and is entirely separate from what you're experiencing up here. Do you see the division? Okay. I do feel like you're gearing up and on the precipice of new. Gorgeous, gorgeous new. A new beginning from the heart and your sincerity. And frankly, loving yourself enough to know that you want to share that. But on this bottom row, that suggests no matter how weak that link is, it's still a link that's intact. And it's a weak link. You and someone else contribute to a relationship that is largely dysfunctioning. It's not an accusation. Don't take it as one. So I don't know what your level of participation is because the link between you two is so weak and thin, fragile. I don't know how you give to it. I don't know how you label that relationship with the 4 of Wands. All I know is how you experience it, and whoever else is participating in it, both of you are unhappy and confused about what's in this relationship. And do you yourself want to give to it anymore? Whoever else is in there, they think the same thing. Why is it so unhappy? They have the same kind of feeling. So whatever this is, again, I don't understand the context for how you give to it. I just know that in some way it still operates in your 3D. Even if it's by the barest of threads, it's still connected to you. And you think about how you give to it and how you shouldn't or you don't want to. And what does that mean? And then whoever else is in there has similar thoughts and misgivings as well. So it's in complete difference to what you seem to be mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready for versus something here that doesn't seem to suit any of those qualifications or standards. Okay? Something to think about. Let's get some advice for you, please. Let's get some advice for you. Let's get some advice, please, for Gemini. Page of Swords, the Hierophant, and the King of Swords. There's that King of Swords again. You, my friend, have shown ample accelerated knowledge. Okay, there's that King of Swords, not once but twice. The Gemini I'm looking at, therefore, you understand, and you've had to learn things the hard way. We had what you might call a big booster. Okay, so we went from Page of Swords, which is, bless them, the most ill-equipped of all the pages to understand anything, never mind do anything, to the most accelerated knowledge, who is the King of Swords, who says, this is what I know, and therefore this is what I can do. Completely opposite end of the spectrum there, right? And then he slapped some Hierophant on there too. So we had a massive growth spurt mentally as well as spiritually. You are equipped to know what is what. You are equipped to know what to do in either scenario or situation. Not only do you mentally know it, accept it, you spiritually feel it too. Back up what you know. That's what his job is. The sole job of the Hierophant here is the higher self. If I know this is true, ergo I must stand by it. If this is the action I'm meant to take, I must stand behind that. It's conviction. Okay? You know as much as you need to know. Okay? There you go. I feel like I just want to shuffle out a couple more. Just nothing crazy. 6 of Cups. The 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords. There's the breakage. Okay. We have drifted apart from this, whatever it is, and that's a very slow drift. There is abandonment or pain behind it. Slowly easing our way from this. A structure that can no longer sustain. That is in the form of some sort of emotional relationship. Now, even if you don't identify with what we're leaving behind here as a soul bond, it's the recognition, bare minimum, of long-standing memories that are painful in nature, breakage, and leaving it behind with the 6 of Swords. So this bottom row then, advice, committing to what we know, is a kind of a reflection, I believe, of that thread that has not been entirely or fully broken yet. Like I said, it's a very weak link. Okay? I do believe you are priming yourself for a new season, a new beginning, a new something. A lot of new something. And you know this. It's not easy to leave this behind. But that doesn't mean it's right to stay. Again, you have to know what you know. And take ownership of it, yes? This is what it is to expand and grow. All right? Tarot does not dictate action, you do. Tarot is a proof of choice, not the absence of it, yes? All right. I want people to do what's in their best interest. For some of you, winter. Upcoming winter, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Well, actually, you can always have an upcoming winter, even while you're in winter. It's true. But for some of you, winter. All right? By the time of winter, on a stormy day in reverse, not a stormy day. That's interesting. Very distinct. Perhaps it was predicted to be a stormy day, you understand? And it turned out the opposite. It's true. Otherwise, I can't imagine why I'm being shown that. Unless the opposite as we perceived it was true. There was anticipation to have snow that day or have a what we have here in the south. We don't really, that's not true. We have had snow on the rare occasion, but for the most part we get icy sleet storms. Let's say that was predicted and it didn't happen. You know what I mean. You get it. Number 64, Woodwives, adaptability. Okay, adaptable. This is an adaptable situation where you've learned to adapt. Despite the fact that you might have some earth in your chart, even earth can adapt. Even if it's the slowest moving element, and it is, we can still adapt. All right, if we must survive, it's going to require adaptation. Skywriting, the fates, leaving it to the fates. Oh, that's a hard thing, especially if you're learning to adapt to that kind of mentality or that kind of spirituality. There's the fate we can create for ourselves. We were always intended to, or you don't believe in it at all, or you can shape your own destiny. You know, I'm a big fan of mixed elements because that's a reflection of nature. I believe we have choice. I also believe that the hand of destiny, wheel of fortune, however you want to call it, also has a say. Because life is a compromise of both. When has it ever been one way only? But number 49, number 64, leaving it to the fates. I've learned to adapt. What happens next is a matter of the next level of fate or my next chapter, something like that. Okay, Gemini, honey, I hope this helped you. Very interesting. Put in the comments, take care, be well. Libra, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Libra? Show me Libra, please. What is going on for Libra? Once more, happy birthday to you. We're not at last call yet. No, I think last call will be Sunday. But once more, happy birthday to Libra. What's going on? Show me Libra, please. Show me Libra. What's going on? Show me la Libra. What's going on? Show me Libra, please. Queen of Swords. The Chariot. Six of Wands. Five of Wands. Oh, okay. 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 Interesting reaction. Page of Swords, Three of Wands, and the High Priestess. Yeah. Well, maybe others won't understand. I got it. Three of Cups. I believe I do. Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man. And the Sun. Good. Well, good for you. You're like, look, I said what I said. I did what I did. I mean, no backsies. Look, okay, you're showing me a little bit of cheekiness. Now, I like a little cheek. Okay, I do. That's naturally my energy as well. You know, I have more what you call mental cheek. It's like, how dare I think that or say that? And I think you can relate. You know, so we have the Queen of Swords, the Chariot, Six of Wands, Five of Wands. You're like, look, I got to go this way. And I feel good about it. Very good. In fact, I know you're kind of just, though, FYI, just a little bit of a check there on that cheekiness, just a wee bit, because I understand people have poor reactions sometimes. I get it. But your display is like, look, I'm right. And I know I'm right. And it's one thing to know you're right. And also, not just that, the Chariot, Six of Wands, you're telling me I still feel right about it. But it's coming off a little bit as showy-offy. And so I'm glad you know what you know. That's very important. Yeah, I'm glad that you acknowledge whatever your frame of mind is that says, I'm determined. Deal with it. Here's the thing. I want you to be determined. Just leave off that second part. Deal with it. Because it comes across as confrontational. But in the wrong ways. You know, so like I said, I like a little bit of cheek. So it's one thing to know what you know and to feel what you feel. But for some reason, you verbalized it, I believe, in such a way that you got opposition. And I don't know where it's coming from. And I'm sorry. You know, because I want you to know that you feel good. And I want you to know that you're ready to move on with your life. It's just, for some reason, it's coming across as a flash of arrogance. And you are met with opposition. And I know what it's like that you can be so steadfast in one's goals that people are like, well, I object. Well, that sounds like a you problem. And it is. It is going to be a you problem. And you know, it's just the way you're presenting it. It's like, well, I object. Because you're kind of coming across as, and so again, I'm glad you know what you know. And I'm glad you feel what you feel. But your display is, check it out, Bats. No, just a little bit. enough that somebody somewhere went, Libra, you better check yourself. And like, you can't make me. So I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. I'm glad that you feel good. I am. Okay. It's just, I don't know who kicked off that Five of Wands. I just know it's directed back on you in direct reflection to what you're demonstrating or showing or verbalizing. Okay. So just FYI. Okay. Page of Swords, Three of Wands, the High Priestess. Intuitively, you're kind of like, I knew this day was coming. And that sense of there's something more and it feels good, you know. And I'm glad that your intuition's out. Again, you know what you know and you feel what you feel. And it's so directed. It is such a strong force that it's like I can't help but show it a little bit. Christina, I knew this day was coming. I knew this feeling was coming. And it's here. I've waited long enough. Okay. And I kept my eye on things with a Page of Swords. What you were doing, I don't know. But there was this sense of I was biding my time. Okay, I was waiting for other things to come along and you intuitively felt it. And now that you have your day, right? You have your day, you're kind of showing it pretty hard. So I'm glad, once more, I love that you're intelligent. I love that you're intuitive. But there's this sense of my day is here. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is you're reacting to so strongly, but you feel vindicated and you're like, look at me. I don't know what it is. Let's take a guess. More than a guess. 3 of Cups, 7 of Cups. So it's looking like we're generating emotional activity that is active exploration in love. And let me put it this way. You seem to have a lot of names on the ballot. You have a couple of names on your dance card, and your dance card's getting full. And you're feeling a little vindicated. You're like, and it was a matter of time. I knew it. I knew it. So why we had to intuitively wait before we felt like our day was here, I don't know. But you're like, now that it's here, I'm not going back. So 3 of Cups, 7 of Cups, boom. Like your dance cards are getting pretty full in future. Okay. And the Hanged Man, the Sun. So you're actually going to enjoy that space. You're going to relish that space for a while because you're going to casually, and I do agree with this, you're going to casually give good thought about, Sun, what actually makes you happy while you're exploring all these cups. As your dance card get full with multiple dance partners, you're going to carefully consider who dances the best, who is dressed well, who actually knows how to say something, you know, something like that. I don't know, but you're taking your time with your happiness. So, and that's good. I do agree with that. Don't rush the process, right? Enjoy it. Try not to get fixated or overly indulgent with any one particular feeling. Again, this is active and open exploration. So and I have this warning with people all the time. I want you to be open to options in love, but that means it's also being returned back to you. So you have to understand that from someone else's point of view, you are also considered an option in love when it's active exploration like this. Okay? So do indeed take your time, the Hanged Man with the Sun, and understand and deeply contemplate what happiness is versus the kind of basic forefront of connectivity. Okay? So you got it in spades, honey. You got your pick of the dance partners, and that's beautiful. You know, it could be one, it could be a couple. The point is, take your time. If you're thinking about happily ever after or happiness or Sun, give that deep reflection and just understand that surface level activity is exactly that. It's surface level activity. It shouldn't be taken or jumped into very deeply, very quickly. Okay? So take your time with it. So, oh my. Just that opening. It's the opening. I don't know. You had such strong conviction. My day was gonna come. I knew this. And look at me go. Look at me go. Yeah. Yeah, you are. All right. Yeah. Oh, well, some of you are coming from a place of lost, 5 of Cups. Okay. I get that. You know, I don't want to stay that way. We don't want to be lost to the past. Who knows? Perhaps that 5 of Wands opposition is being met on your way out the door. I don't know. You can't leave this, Libra, and leave it like wants me. No, it's something about it. It looks like a direct flare-up. Now that you know you're ready or it's your time. And I do hate it when people have poor reactions. I do. So I just say, be mindful. I'm glad you know what you know and you feel what you feel, right? Let that be enough. Let's get some advice, please. Knights of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. Ooh. And Seven of Swords there. Tried to pop out. Be careful how you invest, yeah? Take your time. They're emphasizing that. Knights of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. Take your time on investment. Please don't rush anything. Okay? Some of us we have, and that would explain why I'm seeing for you, I'm going to take my time with happiness, have a tendency to self-sabotage. You have a tendency to misplace the pentacle about what is worthy of the investment. Okay? So don't rush the process. All right? Not every cup that you entertain is going to be worthy of any investment, Page of Pentacles or otherwise. So here's the old rule about the investment. All right? Understand, if you want an ROI, return on investment, okay, you have to be getting it in equal the entire time. Otherwise, there's nothing to grow from, and you're just over-investing, and that's a form of self-sabotage, okay, or trying to win at all costs. Or if you're receiving someone else's investment, but you have no intention of giving it back, that is also a form of self-sabotage. So be careful, all right? Don't rush the process. And take next level advancement at any type, page or otherwise, carefully. Okay? Enjoy yourself by all means. But when we start talking about long road investment, don't talk yourself into or out of anything. All right? Something's either correct or it's not. Let's be careful about that. Anything else in here, please? Because I know you're looking. I know. You're like, it's my time, Christina. It's my time. I don't want to hear all this morning shit. Well, it's in your best interest because some of you have a tendency to invest in the wrong person. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm glad you got your mojo back. I'm glad that you're feeling good and you were dead on bang with your intuition. You knew your time was coming. And here it is again with the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups. You're primed for love. You're ready for love. You want to. Remember, surface level equals surface results. Do not put pentacles into it until you know it is safe to do so and they are therefore also returned to you. Otherwise, you keep it right there on the surface. Okay? So I'm glad you're feeling this. That's gorgeous. But let's not go down those old pathways anymore. Yeah? Wrong investment, wrong person, wrong situation. Let's not do that. Okay, Christina. I just want to make sure you know, honey. That's all. I just want to make sure you know. Especially if we got a little history. All right. At sunset, do it. Oh, I know. That's active. In other words, there really isn't a time frame. This is sooner rather than later. Yeah, I mean, we're at it right now. Okay, we're filling up those dance cards and we're having a soiree. Yeah. All right. There's really not much else to say. Yeah. Remember that. If you're experiencing options, someone's experiencing you as an option. What stops defining you as an option is when you two start dropping pentacles. Okay, return on investment. All right. And if it ain't equal, then it ain't right. All right. Come on now. There's something in here. Can't act like there's not. The Spirit of the River. Movement toward adventure. I know you're open to adventure, especially where the water's concerned. We're on a new adventure in love, or you're trying to. I understand. Number 50. And then number 41. Moon Maiden. New beginnings. Yes, I know. I synced it. Number 41. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Absolutely. New beginnings for you. And you're just trying to be open towards the flow. All right. And we have good advice about what to avoid. Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Be safe out there on your adventures. Take care. Be well. Taurus. Welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Taurus? Show me Taurus, please. What is going on, please, for Taurus? Had my customary break between yours and Libras. Had a little coffee, had a little snack, and now, you know that feeling? It's just such a good feeling. What is going on? Six of Cups. The Devil. I mean, I did ask. So, the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups. Okay. You're like, I'm on it. I'm on it. Are you? Page of Wands, the Empress, and the Nine of Cups. Okay. It's active. The Fool. Ace of Wands. The Chariot. Three of Wands. Wow. Talk about turning that frown upside down. I was like, oh God, where are we going with this one? Because sometimes with you, honey, I just admit I don't ever really know until you're doing it. You're like, I'm on it. I'm taking care of it. I don't want to hear from you today. I'm taking care of it. Write it down. It's of note. Okay? I'm on top of it. You're not going to accuse me of procrastination today, Christina. I can't. You're all over this. In all the best ways. You know, straight away with the opening Six of Cups, the Devil's like, oh. And that's definitely what you call a patternized and or toxic connection. Now, is it toxic as in detrimental, that everybody keeps using the term these days? It's toxic. It's narcissistic. Yeah. It is what it is to you. All I know is that you, even if you don't identify that person with a soul bond, you're like, look, it is what it is. You know who that is. We have time with this person, memory spent, and it's active, like you're taking care of it right now. You're showing me, I'm cutting it out. I've identified it as bad. I've identified it as being detrimental to me, my goals, my purpose in this life, frankly, how it makes me feel or how it operates. It's no bueno. We're not doing this anymore. It's out. So, and by that I mean, that's for you. That's quite fast. The Knights of Swords, the Page of Cups. From a place in you, no matter how small with that Page of Cups, you're trying to, even though it looks like an attack, you're trying to approach this from a space of, with goodness in my heart, I am dealing with the connection. And by dealing with it, I mean, I believe you're cutting it out. I don't quite know what that means to you, but you are delivering in terms of your, what looks like final thoughts and actions towards it. And it's done so with goodness in your heart. So there is some level of respect or care for whatever this is, mostly likely due to what you call time served or memory served. Out of respect for the connection or the memories that are in it, which again you've identified as being bad. I don't want this attached to me anymore. I'm going to deal with it. I mean, you're being very direct, very confrontational. You're not putting it off. You're not procrastinating. You're not... No cinder blocks on your feet today. This is a direct confrontation from Taurus to handle, deal with. I hate those phrases, I'm going to handle or deal with, because it's kind of like if you're at that point where you're talking about somebody, like you're dealing with them, it's probably best that it is cut out because nobody wants to be dealt with, right? Nobody wants to feel like they're being dealt with. So whatever this is, like, I'm not dealing with it anymore. You're saying it really shouldn't be in my life. If I think this poorly of it or it makes me feel this bad, I should probably make extra strides to make sure it's out of my life. So it is directly confrontational instead of ignoring it or just walking away from it. You're saying something to it to let it know, or to let whatever this is know that it's no longer has a place in your life. I don't know. That from this point forward, you will be no longer giving it your time, energy, and effort. But let's call it your final thoughts. Remember Jerry Springer? I think a lot of people live in the night. I have my final thoughts. Think of it this way. These are your final thoughts to whatever this is. And I say good on you because these things aren't easy. They're just not easy. That's why a lot of people prefer to ghost, walk away, slink away in the middle of the night. You're like, no, I'm going to give this a final thought, but it's coming from a good place in me. So whatever that is to you, I'm going to leave that to you. It seems like I said, you're handling it. You're on it. Okay, so I don't want to press it. Page of Wands, the Empress, Nine of Cups. This is how I know when people do things like this, there's no argument. There really isn't an argument. When I see people flourish immediately after these kinds of decisions, that's how I know it's correct. Okay? It's because they show me the correctness in themselves. I cannot show you anything that you didn't already have in you. Okay, sometimes, yes, it's unexpected. Sometimes there's surprises. True. That's why a lot of people watch tarot. But for the most part, people are looking for confirmation that they're being understood, or that they're being correct, or that they're feeling correct, or they're not crazy. And the way you open up after that, there you are. Boom. Dead center of your own reading. Gorgeous. You're showing me the thriving principle of I did what was right for me. And I know that because why? Because I love myself. It's like you're saying, I wouldn't have done this under any other condition. I agree. Okay. No argument, like I said, for me. Page of Wands, the Empress, the Nine of Cups. You're saying with this act, I'm proving to myself that I love myself. And I think I'm worthy. And I know that I'm worthy. And I'm acting my own best interest. That's what empowerment is, guys. I have to remind that people all the time about the Emperor and Empress and their roles, responsibilities attached to that. It's not just about, quote unquote, having our way. It's also knowing when we have to make the difficult decisions. That is also empowerment. Okay. You really seem to get back in touch with your own particular center of gravity, about who you are, what you're about, what you feel, and what you understand self-love is. And that's beautiful. Okay. Like I did this because it was right for me, and I knew that, and I know that. Yes, absolutely. After that, whoo, burst of energy, just hands. The Fool. It's the Wands, the Chariot, 3 of Wands. Oh, go, Taurus, go. It's gorgeous. That's bloody gorgeous. That's what that is. You know, the Fool, the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, 3 of Wands. Okay. You go on then. You go on then, big sexy. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm just living life. That's all. Oh, that's great. That is beautiful. Look at that. The Fool, Ace of Wands, the Chariot, 3 of Wands. It's like you're looking forward to this. It's not waiting. It's active participation of being open at the spiritual level, being open emotionally, being open physically. You're great. Looking forward literally to better things to come, other things to come. Opening yourself up because you know it's correct for you. Again, high levels of empowerment, high levels of self-satisfaction, high levels of sense of self-propelled will and action. And feeling good about you. Really fucking good. And doesn't it feel good to feel good about you? Of course it does. Oh, honey, look at you go. Oh, be careful now. You might break something. Look at you. Seriously. Like what? I got a haircut and I got a new pair of shoes. They feel good. Still breaking them in. Taurus. Just go on. It's great. This is great. I love this. Look at you. Look at that. Not breaking stride. Look at that. Look, I mean, goodness. Look at that. That's fantastic, honey. Good luck to you on your new adventure. Just so gorgeous. So glorious. Look at you. Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry about that rough opening, but I'm glad that this happened. Otherwise, these elements wouldn't have fallen into place, you know? I promise you this. These elements would not have fallen in place. You would not have known, or rather remembered, what your own sense of self-worth is and what it is to love yourself had you not done this and you had a fresh reminder. Okay? So, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's get some advice. I don't think you need it. Stay the course, my friend. You'll be fine. But goodness, look at that sense of adventure. You're so turned on by the prospect of life and new beginnings and hope and joy. So, honey, I don't know where you're going in your car, but you look great. You feel great. And more to the point, you know that you're great. Isn't that fantastic? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. Show me that, please. That's funny. Not a drop of your pentacle energy today. I'm guessing that you're one of those deeply sensitive Tauruses, but you'd rather die than admit that, right? You know, that's okay, honey. That's okay. It's the quality. Gorgeous. Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Swords. Look at that grown heart space. Wow. Yeah, no, you seem to be very... Look at that. There's that Nine of Cups again. Yeah, I know, you're feeling it. And Queen of Cups, the Page of Swords. There is something in our heart that's been growing for some time. And it's such a loud beat, and it's a steady beat. A strong conviction of the heart. You've been growing into it. It's not a thought process. It was an emotional process. And you're ready for love. That's the fullness of heart. And it beats proudly and full. And very strong sense of self. But we had to grow into this. You look great. Oh my, my. You might have some very deep Cancer and/or Scorpio in your chart. It's gorgeous, though. It's repeating. That's why I bring it up. Don't get me wrong. You're still dead in center right there at that reading, right? You are ruled by Venus, which is why you share this, of course, with Libra. But, you know, yeah, some of you are very water-oriented, but in beautiful ways. You really had to grow into your emotional side and claim it and feel comfortable with it. You believe in passion. You believe in love. You believe in new beginnings. It's really beautiful. Your advice is, yeah, no, you're correct. What you're feeling in here is absolutely correct. May you go. Anything else in here, please? Let's just shake out a couple more for fun. Anything else in here, please, for Taurus? King of Pentacles. Page of Cups. There you go again. Look at you. You're like, don't forget my practical side. Okay, you're still talking to Taurus. I know who I'm talking to. Okay, there you go. There you are. That's your natural. So the kings are the fixed signs. That's your natural state of grace energy. Very practical. You are reliable, head of household, resourceful. I know, responsible, down to the nines. I got it, honey. But your heart is feeling so much more, and it's beautiful. You grew into that knowledge. You grew into the feeling. You're gorgeous, and that Page of Cups is being backed up again. Practically speaking, you know what it is you feel. Practically speaking, you lean into that knowledge comfortably. Practically speaking, the Taurus I'm looking at, you know everything about this is correct for you. You can't mistake that particular stamp of energies. And it's not going to be here today, gone tomorrow. This is the kind of thing that's going to carry you long-term out. Okay, that's beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous. I don't have too much advice for you except for what you're feeling and experiencing is on point. So I don't know who you're going to point all that gorgeous energy at, honey, but may they be worthy of you, okay? And your heart. And everything it is that you have to offer is bloody gorgeous. All right. Gosh, I don't know where you... Honey, you got to go somewhere. I'll tell you that. You have got to go. Look at how much you're rocking. There's just no way. Of course, you got to go somewhere. Most of it is love. Yes, absolutely. And that's not a bad thing. For some of you, this process took 3 years. You know? Where you are in the stages of that, I have no idea. For others of you, you're just now approaching this part of your timeline, so it might be 3 years further out. For others of you, you're in mixed areas of the timeline. For some of you, you're reflecting back on what you had to do not so long ago in the past, and you understand that you're here today and that you're ready to propel forward, and that took within 3 years. So I don't know. For some of you, it's simply a reflection of how far you've come these past 3 years. Anything else in here, please? It's on a Friday, on a stormy day, and at night. Interesting. I don't know if any of that has any significance to you, but on a Friday, on a stormy day and at night, there might have been some really cracking influence. I don't know. I don't know, but I suppose you would, eh? It could be yet to be as well. All right. Some of you might have taken a long time, months or seasons, to cut this out. Who knows? Who knows? The Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain, number 22. The Fool's Embrace. Not being afraid to embrace the things in us that cause pain for ourselves, possibly others, but embracing it as part of who we are. And then once you embrace these things and you accept it, you know these things about yourself, you can transmute the pain into something that is workable. Hey, pumpkin baby. Hi, my sinner baby. You want to say hi to Taurus? You want to say hi to Taurus? Yeah. Who's my good girl? Who's my good girl? Big stretch. Yeah. Do you want to come up? Do you want to say hi? No? Up? You can. It's okay. She's like, do you have a treat though? Because She's like me. She don't work for free. It's like, are we talking treat? Do you have a treat in your pocket? Because if not, then maybe I don't. I know. Oh, such my good girl. Can I finish Taurus up and then you can get a treat? Yeah. Yeah. All right, pumpkin. I'm almost done. Literally, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Scratch, 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 scratch. Oh, I know. Right between the eyes. All right. All right. So, the Fool's Embrace, like I said, learning to transmute your pain into something that functions for you, to make it work for you, right? Pain is pain is pain, but it is possible to transmute it how you hurt yourself, like I said, and therefore also possibly hurt by others. Taking that, it's like, yeah, I understand these things to be true, and it sucks. How can I make this work, though? Turning into something useful that functions. Number 40, mindful, groupthink. You try to be mindful of those around you in your life, what they think of you, but that you're also part of it too. You add to the color. You add to the vibrancy. And all things that you do, you ask yourself, how am I contributing to this? And what will be thought of it? Okay? So you're very mindful, Taurus. Some of you are quite proud of your gardens. Somebody else got this card, and I didn't get it that way at all, but some of you are quite proud of your, if not gardens, then your growth. Your literal landscaping growth. Some of you can get very concerned, bare minimum, with how others perceive you. But you also lend to that cultivation as well. So do be mindful. You're still an individual, even while you think of the group. And sometimes you must know when to act in your best interest, even if it's outside the so-called groupthink, which is not easy for you, I know. All right, number 40. All right. Oh. Well, you had quite the point of reference. Taurus, don't always get caught up in what other people think or perceive you, because they're going to do it anyway. You still have to be you at the end of the day, and that's your responsibility as an individual. Yeah? All right. Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What is going on for Virgo? Show me Virgo, please. One more. Let's see Virgo, please. Nine of Swords. The Lovers. The World. The Knights of Cups. Okay. Five of Swords. The Magician. The King of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. The Hanged Man. The Wheel of Fortune. The King of Wands. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on in here today. A lot of back and forth. And I don't blame you. Okay. Connections like these can really wreak havoc on the mind because they tend to defy everything we know. So it's very easy to slip into that space of, am I convincing myself? Is this real? Is this not real? Nine of Swords, the Lovers, the World, the Knights of Cups. You're showing me stress about a connection, a very strong one, I grant you, with the Lovers there, that on theory looks over, but you don't feel that it is. I know. I promise you, I know that feeling. I'm acquainted with it. A lot of people are. This connection hits me so strong. It's so different. It seems to defy so many things I know about myself, and that's what the Lovers is. It's so challenging. It's either can be our greatest reward or what feels like our most grievous error, because it really does challenge us. Is this what I know about myself, and is that true? And what does that mean? Can I open up to that knowledge, or do I need to reject it because it feels threatening in a weird way? And you're showing me a lot of mental stress and mental threats around a connection. You don't know what to make of it. Is it a good witch or a bad witch? A good connection or a bad connection? And where does that leave you, right? You're like, I stress about a connection that, by all rights, Christina, is over. I still give it a great deal of mental energy. And I think about it, and I think about how I relate to it or how I don't. It kind of keeps me up sometimes. You're like, but what really stresses me out is knowing knowing this strong connection is over. So why do I still have feeling for it? Yeah. Honey, if we can solve that, people could solve that question. Goodness me. Would we be human? Would we each have our own individual unique stories of overcoming challenges and difficulties if we were able to give the exact recipe and formula to people? No, it's an individual journey. And I honor that you're trying to answer the question, why do you still have love for this? Why do you still feel gentle towards it? Why does it still make you feel vulnerable? Why does it still make you feel romantic? Why does it still make you feel soft? Why do you still find that your heart seeks this out when you know it's over? Well, first of all, you're still connected to it. That's why. Spiritually, if anything. But mentally, you show me that's where most of your conflict is. Five of Swords, the Magician, King of Pentacles. You're saying, I know how to manifest, practically speaking. Practical, I know what's good for me. I know what's good for me, and I know how to manifest the best for me, and this ain't it. Okay, so that's kind of a self-sabotage there just a little bit. Look, I agree that you still being mentally bound up about this connection and still having feeling for it specifically is going to cause you conflict in your nature. But you don't have to lie to yourself either, you know. If you took this connection away, if you took it away, would you be a King of Pentacles that knows how to manifest without difficulty or issue? Oh, sure. But because you knew this connection existed for you once upon a time, it challenged what you know a little bit about what's quote-unquote best for you. Now, I want you to be that person who can manifest with confidence, particularly if it's in a known arena, such as the King of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles would suggest. This is my experience. This is what I'm comfortable with. This is my lane. This is my comfort zone. And I can manifest accordingly based on what I know or experience to be true. Yes. But we have the Five of Swords. It suggests maybe, practically speaking, this connection does not have a practical manifestation attached to it. Okay. I bet if you looked at this connection minus the lens of practical application, you would find yourself manifesting it from the heart or from the spirit. It's not really about how you perceive yourself in the real world and what your real world looks like. That you built it, you would know. But this connection defies kind of what you built into your life. Okay? It seems to challenge you emotionally more than anything else. And as I said, if it were for this connection, I bet you would be an all-star manifester. Manifesting from experience. Right? That's a non-issue. But the fact of the matter is this connection existed at some point in your life. And while it may not have a practical purpose in it, it has really changed how you feel. Particularly where your love entities can go and where they have found themselves before, unexpectedly, probably. But nonetheless, they still will go that way, practical or not. And ain't that the bitch? It's not practical sometimes to love people or to be in love with them. And yet we still do it. Why? Because we're idiots. Because, you know, there's some people who are very comfortable mentally residing in themselves or practically residing in themselves or emotionally residing in themselves. But whatever it is that you needed the most help on in this life is why you were connected to this person. Okay. Maybe it had nothing to do with your practical application or its purpose. Anyway, let's jump on down here to the Ace of Wands. In other words, I have no new information for you. Just know that what it is you're comfortable manifesting is not the end-all be-all to who you are. There's still part of you that would love this and call towards it from the heart. Like I said, it really has nothing to do with how it may or may not show up as a feature in your life. Okay. Be a little bit more honest with yourself that maybe you don't have everything you need. And that conflict might come down. Okay? Ace of Wands, the Hanged Man, Wheel of Fortune, King of Wands. It may not seem... I hate saying these sentences. I do, because people are like, when. That's just not how this works. I wish I could tell you so-called when. I just know that for the Virgo I'm looking at, yeah, it's an eventuality. Ace of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune, King of Wands. After much due reflection, I see someone joining you in time. But we have to be in a position to embrace new beginnings. You will be alive in ways that you had not felt since that connection. Could it be the same person in theory? Absolutely. Do I have any descriptors here? I really don't. Other than your fire picked up considerably. Can do, ambition, passion, and this is where I'm supposed to be, a sense of manifest destiny. Okay? Really embracing the fact that there was more to it than what we've always known. It suggests you will know more when you're in a position for a new beginning. To be open towards it emotionally, spiritually, otherwise. Or in the 3D. I don't know. But someone joins you in that space. Okay? Let's get some advice for you. So I know you feel like you're stuck with a hill of beans on this one. I promise you there was more to it than... Well, this connection just left me wanting from the heart, and I can't have that because it's not practical, so let's just manifest from what we know and tell ourselves we're content. It goes so much more beyond that. You don't quite know yet the part this had to play in your life. But one day you will. You know? The same is true for all of us who've experienced something like this. Alrighty. So, basic advice for you, for those who still feel mentally conflicted about this, but you kind of resolve to tell yourself, I have everything I need. I know what to manifest, and this just isn't practical. Okay, start substituting that knowledge with, okay, maybe I'm still longing for this in my heart, and it really has nothing to do with practicality. That might help with the conflict, mental conflict that you're showing me. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, the Queen of Cups. We need to... Whatever this was, I believe, posed itself as friendship. In reality, you keep showing me practical application, and that was the issue, okay? But because it didn't, it's like the love can't be true. That's not true. You still have emotional attachment to it. No matter how possible or probable this was in reality, it had more of an emotional stronghold than it did a 3D hold. You understand me? And I'm saying that here as well. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, Queen of Cups. There was real love in this. Whoever called themselves friend to you, or you called yourself friend to them, I'm sure it ran a little bit both ways. The love was real. It's been healed upon several times for somebody as the final result. Whatever this was, friendship or otherwise, I know what I felt. And someone's at peace with this. And it's still loving to this day, even if it's from afar. And again, however it showed up in your life, so-called friendship, if you can honestly say you loved it, then that made it real. Okay? Again, that will help bring down that mental conflict about what was the point, you know. No, there was a point, honey. There was a point. 8 of Swords. I'm just curious. 4 of Wands. We couldn't see the relationship. There is an issue here regarding blindness in this relationship. You couldn't see each other's side, even though they were more or less equal, or roughly equal, and that was a big issue. 8 of Swords surrounding this 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, once more, as a relationship, as 2 people design it. There's the blindness, procrastination, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see, when the opposite is true. You both had the opportunity, Six of Pentacles, to see this relationship for what it was and that it was functioning as an actual relationship in its own, perhaps meager way. It was still functioning. There was quality love behind it on both sides, but perhaps neither one of you could fully see the other person's point of view, even while this so-called relationship was functioning. Interesting. That's for some of you. That's for somebody somewhere. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Need a breath. Just need a breath. It's all right. Oh. Doing much, much better. Much better. For those of you who missed the last couple check-ins, I had a fairly sizable asthma attack this fall. Oh, I usually get the whoppers in spring. But sometimes the fall honey can be just as strong as anything else. Process with caution. Within 10 years on a Tuesday. Process with caution. How long have you known this person? It's very hard for me to believe that this cycled out yesterday and you got 10 years on the bill of... No. Within 10 years. How long have we known this person? First, mind you, this deck doesn't go beyond 10 years. There's something about the decade here that's important. How long have you known this person? Are you rounding up to 10, possibly 20? Comprehensively altogether, adding the years up. Been processing this connection over the span of how long? Some of you, I have to insist you're approaching your 10-year mark on it. For others of you, another rounded decade, possibly 20 years. Once you hit your 20 years for some of you, or your 10-year marker, is it time? For connectivity that finally, quote-unquote, makes sense. Because I have to admit that was a lot of time. That's why I know people get frustrated. I don't think your 10 years started yesterday. No. I think we've known this person. We've more or less met the conditions for whatever this is. Upwards to a decade. And for some of you, it's a solid 20 years. So we're talking... Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you would know, wouldn't you? I mean, you would know, whatever your 10-year, 20 years. It's such a distinctive impression I've had. I never really see things beyond the 10-year. If somebody puts it in the comments, it was 20 or 30. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I mean, wow. But trying to mentally work through this connection for just the shock to find that love is still there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you ever remember those cheese commercials, literally cheese commercials. I'm sorry, I'm a cheese person. I bring it up all the time, but it's like, oh, the power of cheese. Well, okay. Yes, but with all due respect to cheese, oh, the power of the lover's connection. Yes. Yeah. It can take a while to so-called process. That doesn't mean I advocate waiting. I mean, you're either doing the work and you're trying to understand how it applied to you after all this time, or you're not. You're a Virgo who's choosing to try to learn about it, even if it's difficult. Especially when you get hung up on that particular hanging nail. I have a feeling for this after all this time. That can't be right. It's not practical. A lot of shit's not practical. And yet we have art. There's nothing practical about art. Except that it evokes all the best in us. But technically it's not practical. Anyway. Number 62, Will o' the Wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows. Yeah. There's a lot to reveal there if we're willing to look. There's pleasures in the shadows of things that have yet to been revealed if you give it deeper contemplation. More than the memories, the hidden treasures we missed along the way. That is what caught my attention. Here's the moth. It's not a butterfly, it's the moth, but it's blue. Sign of nighttime transformation. Transformation that only takes place at night. Takes longer. It's a lot more mysterious. A lot more mysterious. But it does lend to itself more a little bit on the spiritual transformative side. How much we have fundamentally been changed as a person. That's enough, Virgo. I've given you probably a little too much today. That's okay. Yours was very interesting, I find. I do hope it helped you regardless. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Capricorn? Show me Capricorn, please. Okay. Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The High Priestess. Ooh, Judgment. Oh my. We're feeling a certain something, ain't we? Yes. Five of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles. King of Cups. Okay. Well, good job with that, though. Ace of Swords. Five of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. And the Ace of Cups. Man, straight away you opened up with something that's a little bit more, well, a lot more, I should say, on the emotional side, the spiritual side, the metaphorical side of things. You have a grip on your 3D that's known to you. Your openings suggest Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, the High Priestess, Judgment. You're saying love is coming towards you in time. That you feel this, like inherently, down to your Capricorn DNA. You feel it. Okay? You're saying it may not be with me now, but it will be with me in time. And I, in turn, will open up towards it. You seem to have no conflict in this knowledge at all. None whatsoever. You said you've learned your lessons in love, and you've had a lot of them. Like a lot, and you appreciate every single one. It's like, thank you, dear universe, for all the lessons. One day I hope to actually get to enjoy the application of them. But you're saying, for right now, my job is to feel for when it's time. And to you and your Capricorn frame of reference, you're like, it's literally a matter of time. You're like, I will be pointed to the right love in the right space. I just need to listen to myself. I need to pay attention. And when it's time to open up and apply my lessons, I will. I like it. You're showing me not just a firmness of heart, but a braveness of heart and understanding your role in your own emotional development and that sense of timing and when things will be right and respecting the timing. Not forcing the timing, respecting the timing. No conflict there. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And then you finally show me some, okay, but this is what's happening in the 3D. Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, King of Cups. You're just like, there's something here that's not shaping up well in your 3D, and it's so tempting to give in to that anger and the frustration, but you're trying not to. Okay? There's something in your 3D don't you just wish things in the real world could match what we feel sometimes on the inside? It's just being calm. There's a thing, it's divine timing. I'm listening to myself. I'm intuitive. I will be emotionally open and ready, available when I know it's time, and I trust the universe. Thank you, universe. I love this feeling. This is such a good feeling. Thank you, universe. And that's gorgeous. And then reality's like, and this is what's happening. And that's real world. That's real world frustration. There's something here that suggests it's your pathway energy, but it's plateauing at the moment. And for that reason, there's frustrating elements surrounding it. But you're determined to keep your heart space open towards it, King of Cups. Some of you have some very strong water in your chart. But you're like, I'm determined to love this thing no matter how difficult it gets. It's coming across as work. Work is a little frustrating right now because I'm seeing voices outside of you. And then kickback outside of you. You know, if it was internal, I'd tell you this looks external to the pathway you're on. And it's frustrating. And you're like, I'm going to keep an open heart towards this, and I'm going to do what's correct or what I feel is correct to get it out of this frustrating state. So thank you very much for your contribution. But ultimately, I got to do what I feel is right, whether or not you agree with it. I want my pathway back to where it's nice and visible and calm. And there's a steady growth attached to it. So I am sorry, but you seem to have a very strong grip about what to do here. At least in terms of what feels correct to you. You're a big feeler. I bet you hate hearing that. The cat, I'm not laughing at you. I'm having a chuckle because it's like, I bet the Capricorn I'm looking at does not like being told that they're a feeler. But you are, honey. It's part of your intuitive process. You know, I don't know how you can have intuition and not have a strong idea of who you are as an emotional being, you know? So you do have very strong expectations for how to get your pathway back into a place of calmness. Okay. You don't want to seem to participate in the fight, but you have very strong ideas of how to cool it off. Ace of Swords, Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. You know, you have such a strong, steady sense of knowing in here, and it's very calm. It's very calm. You're saying sometimes you must make losses in order to appreciate gains. And you're saying you have lost some time here, and you acknowledge it, or you have lost some time, energy, and effort here. You acknowledge this, but you're saying, you know what? Sometimes you have to be willing to lose in order to gain. Okay, that's all I know. That's all I know. You're determined to keep yourself calm and collected over a critical issue surrounding what looks like work. And you're like, if I have to take some loss, if it means curtailing this argument or frustration, then so be it. It's not worth it. You're like, it's just not worth it. And you're showing me direct application knowledge of it's not worth it to me. If it's this difficult, if it's this argumentative, if it's this fractured, then it's not worth it. I'd rather take a loss and make repairs from there. So I congratulate you on that. Because sometimes, you know, you do have to understand what strategic loss is. And if anyone who gets that is going to be Capricorn in terms of strategic loss, that's how you play chess, you know. You have to be willing to take hits. You have to be willing to lose pieces. And in life, you have to be willing to lose some time, energy, and effort into something that's not working, and it's just causing more frustration. And it's like, if that's the case, so be it. Cut it loose. And you're saying it's worth it to you. You're saying it's worth it to you to do so. And I think so. If we're talking about peace of mind and peace of activity, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, no conflict there. I just like how you're prepared for it. I really do. You said that you were going to do what you needed to do if it felt correct. You're also saying it's worth it to me to let some things go. Who knows, honey? It could be contributing efforts that aren't working out, project work that's not working out, people in your life who are supposed to be assisting this, such as coworkers or employees, and they're just, I don't know. I don't know. An idea you thought would take off, but it didn't, and it's just costing you more time, energy, and effort. Gotta let it go. You know, I don't like loose ends either, honey. I'm not a big fan of that. They tend to take up resources, even though they don't seem like they're doing anything. Yeah, they can still take up resources. Why we call it pruning the tree of life, you know? Even the dead ends take up resources, even though they're dead ends. So you might as well finalize it right and prune it. There you go. And then the Ace of Cups, you kind of go back into that space of... And then you go right back into that space of, but I feel good. So I love that. You're showing me such a strong preparedness for proper love orientation. And at the same time, being respectful and mindful of your real world circumstances. I mean, your Capricorn has been around the block. Excuse me. Your emotional constructs are still important to you. And if what I'm saying is correct, once we get past that point of pruning off your tree of life here, the edges or the stuff that's just not working, all that lovely sense of obeying your intuition and divine timing might be coming into play not long after that, if I'm saying this correctly. Okay? The way you so beautifully opened up here, once we get past that point of pruning for you and you feel good about it, that you can part ways with it, that might be about your time, honey, for that beautiful Ace of Cups to open up for you. Let's get some advice for you, please. Oh, look, you took me on a nice little story here today. I always admire people who can do the uncomfortable things, because if more people could do the uncomfortable things, we probably wouldn't have such wild and unrealistic expectations about behavior and things like that, you know? It's like, no, I'm going to actually do what's correct instead of trying to hold on to everything that isn't, and then therefore put myself into a state of disrepair because I'm not obeying the natural law orders of things. You know, if we stop doing that, and it's like, you know what, this isn't working, and I can admit that. I mean, it was my idea, you know, it was my idea to incorporate this at work or do this, or I would say I'd take on that role of responsibility, and it's not working, and I can admit that. I'm a big Capricorn, I can admit that. It's costing me more to hold on to this. I respect those people a lot. I think modern society has really lost touch with those basic skills. I don't just mean walking away and going silent. I mean taking care of business because it's attached to us. All right, let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please, for Capricorn. You know what I mean? Justice, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, good job. Really good job. That's very admirable. Excellent. Yeah, abide by the truth of your mind and in your heart. Don't mince words. Something's either correct and balanced for you or it isn't. You have very strong lines here about these are my thoughts and I abide by my truth and my actions. I do so with a fullness of heart, which you've already shown me. In a sense of balance, I know what I need to do to balance things, right? Between my intelligence, my sense of feeling, I know what's correct. Yeah, I think you do. Very much so. Very much so. Man, you really, really pride yourself on being in tune with the spiritual/divine and then also respecting the realities as well. So that's really good. I love that. That's a great combination. We don't need to push that further. Any interesting timing, please, for Capricorn? Interesting timing here? Any sort of time frames? On a Tuesday. On a Tuesday, what? Well, that's up to you. Just something to note. And on midnight, oh yes. Okay, some of you might be late owl Capricorns, you know. Perhaps some of you get your best work done at night. Perhaps some of you, you know, you and sleeping are not friends so much. I don't know. Oh, within 10 years, somebody else got that. It was a very different context. I think some of you are showing me a growth pattern here that is taking you 10 years to develop. Okay. Thursday and Tuesday for some of you are important. Some of you perhaps might be doing stuff where it involves midnight hours on Tuesday and Thursday, which is very specific. As to that, I couldn't say. But for others of you, whatever this working construct is, you've been developing it or working with it for 10 years. And I think that's why you're showing me such a strong sense of I know what I know surrounding your pathway, especially if you're the one who designed it or laid it out to begin with. You know responsibly what it is you can cut off or afford to cut off, or that you probably should based on experience. You know, if it's your particular empire, you got to run it as you see fit. Okay? All right. For others of you, that 10 years might be in reflection of for your true love, your fresh start in love. Might have taken you 10 years to get to that point. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That can happen. Especially if you appreciate the idea of natural flow, organic flow, divine timing principles, things like that. It can take 10 years. You betcha. Point is, if you go looking for it, you're very rarely going to find it. It should happen when it's meant to happen, is when it's ready to happen. Okay. Number 40, be mindful. Several people have gotten this one. Be mindful of the group thing. Yes, you are part of a group, absolutely. But you are also, like I said, part of it. There's always going to be the opinions of others, especially about what's been grown and the contribution of others. Many elements have fallen into place to make this colorful, beautiful, and bountiful growing. So yes, while you do try to be aware, cognizant of what other people think, you also have a voice in that too, obviously. What will people think? They're going to think what they think. You're still an individual at the end of the day. People are going to think what they think. And if you see whatever this is as letting go appropriately instead of as an admission of defeat, you'll be fine. Okay? Eye of the Needle, intentionality. Yeah, it depends on what your intentions are. There you go. The number 17, that speaks for itself. Number 14, the Drifter. Experiencing life as it comes. There it goes. That's that top line, right? It even captures that element too. the drifter, experiencing life as it comes, as it relates to your heart space. Okay, number 14. Again, not going out of your way to try to map it or find it. You're drifting with it. You're going with the flow of it. Really good. All right, Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's up? What's going on? Show me, Scorpio. It'll be our season before you know it. We'll be in Scorpio season October 23rd or thereabouts, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, the 23rd. Got any big birthday plans this year? Already splurged just a little bit. Just a little bit. Decided to treat myself just a little bit this year. Got myself something very nice. Or naughty, depending on how you look at it. As some of you know, I have a passion for bustiers, yeah? All I'm going to say is that if you have not heard, okay, one of my, you'll ask me all the time where I get my clothes. Oh, honey. I don't know. I've been collecting for years, particularly those extra special garments. I just like them. They're so sensual. And, but one of the places I will tell you is called, see if I can get, if my lisp will allow me to say it correctly. Thistle and Spire clothing company. They sell soft, sexy things. Anyway, in their clothing line, I wanted to let you know because I thought of you. Of course I did, because they had, to my surprise, a Scorpio line of lingerie. It literally says Scorpio. Oh my. I thought the designs were very reflective, you know, to the sign. So if you're into that kind of thing, Thistle and Spire. I love their shit. I really do. I do. When I'm feeling extra indulgent, so I got myself a little something. But it wasn't from the Scorpio line. No. It was in my signature color. But still, I just thought I'd give you the heads up because, like, Scorpio needs to know. You need to know, darling. You need to know. What a cool name, too. It's like, that's a cool name. That is a cool name. Anyway, what's going on for you? My point was, I hope that you're like me. You can feel the energy, right? Pre-gaming, as I call it. What's going on for Scorpio? Show me, Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio? Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Strength, the world. The world. Do you know about this? I mean, some of you, that's why you're here. You know, like the Hierophant, the Ace of Pentacles, the Sun. Oh, what are you doing? Do you know you haven't made me scratch my head in a long time? Like a long time. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. I'm just saying. The Nine of Swords, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. It's like you're saying, I have to do this, but... Okay. It usually there's a whole background, like Scorpio will be the first to tell me, and this, and this, and this, and that's there. I don't really know what the background is. Even I'm a bit mystified. Perhaps they will show me on advice. You rarely catch me on an off day. Fascinating. It makes me wonder how many of you know this then. Because it's so slow, perhaps you just simply do not see it, darling. Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Strength, the world. Wow. Slowly but surely. And I mean slowly but surely. Something in your Ten of Cups value, and that is fairly extensive. A lot of people want an absolute definition of the Ten of Cups. That's not how this works. You know who's in your Ten of Cups or you don't. That's it. So Ten of Cups is the emotional harmony that you can have anywhere between yourself and someone else. Or a whole bunch of folks. Okay? We typically call these people family, friends, spouses, kids, something. Okay? It's whoever you look at upon the world, and when you are looking for that sense of support, I know these people stand for me, or stand with me, or they care about me. You want to know that they're there, and that you're part of their world too. Okay? You count them as your cups. There's something here in that dynamic that you're saying it's taking strength, but you need to shut it down. So I'm not saying you're shutting down your whole Ten of Cups. You're saying part of that is changing, or how you identify that function is changing. It's altering. As something is closing out for you, something else is opening up. And that's literally the end of this line and entering the new line. And what you're entering in is going to be quite strong by the time it presents itself. I would love to know what your awareness is back here, because it's so slow, and Ten of Cups tends to be fairly harmonious when it shows up. But it's saying it's taking you strength of will to acknowledge that part of this something in your life is closing out, and it's taking you strength to acknowledge this. Okay, to accept it. This could take a while. I don't know. But as that one door closes, shifts, alters, or change, okay, you are actually adding to your Ten of Cups in a different way. The Hierophant, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Sun. So these are quite beautiful, not fucking around elements right here. So those two together are already quite what you might call, quote unquote, the real deal. Okay, because this guy is going to back that guy up. But it's also P.S. happy, bonus, right? So that's pretty damn strong. That is pretty darn strong. So there is a real opportunity here to stand behind in terms of commitment. I don't know if that's a work opportunity. I don't know if it's a commitment opportunity that suggests I'm standing next to this and you can't, wild horses couldn't tear me away. Yeah? Because it makes us very happy. Whatever this is, it's solid. Okay? So it could be work, it could be relationship. I honestly don't know. I just know it makes us happy. Okay? But it seems to be writing on the back of something here that's closing out. And the only element I have that suggests what it's about is that it's taking you strength to realize it, to accept it. So I'm not saying this happens on a Monday and then this happens on a Tuesday. That's not how life works as I understand it. No, there will be time here stretched out. And now I have a bit of a clue down here on the bottom line. The Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Swords, the Star, the Ace of Swords. Time will pass, but it's in that space of reflection. It's something you used to worry about. A star, a desire, a hope. And if it would ever have truth or meaning to it. But you won't know that until you're reflecting on it from a space of the future. It's something, a desire, a hope, or a dream that you always wondered if it had any real validity. Something, in other words, you would dare to hope for and acknowledge mentally. Like you don't know if you could ever mentally acknowledge this and feel safe about it or secure about it. It's almost like a dream you never dare to dream. Why have I said those words before? The Star with the Ace of Swords, a dream within a dream, but it was... Did you dare to believe it? Because it seems like my dreams are coming true and that can't be right. Something you'd always hoped for, but it's like I said, you didn't dare. So it's almost in that weird sort of acknowledgement space. It's like, this can't be right. This doesn't happen to me. This doesn't happen to Scorpio. Don't get me wrong. I used to think about this, but there's no fucking way. Like this, but it's happening. They're like, there's no way. But it seems to be happening. There's something about this that smacks us such high levels of legitimacy, and then you have the sun and the star literally touching each other. It's like it's your immediate upfront happiness and then your long-term sense of vision to the star for which you would navigate. You have two aces surrounding these concepts. It was a matter of time, but it's like I almost didn't dare believe it. You never did. Okay. Not you never did. It's just like, do I dare acknowledge that star? That it could mean something one day. Something like this. It's hard to articulate. Let's get some advice. That top line, it's hard to accept something in your world is shifting, changing. Do I think you're losing all your Ten of Cups? No, on the contrary. You're going to seem to be adding to them. But something in your world alters a bit. I don't know what it is. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the King of Pentacles. What is this? It's more of that, here it is, realistic, earthbound energy. Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. It seems to take place right here on that center line. Whatever this is, it's safe to work through it. It shows up as realistic, grounded. I don't know what opportunity this is. It seems so personal and so grounded simultaneously. I mean, I can't deny it. Some of you, it's straight up work. A new opportunity, one that you'd never hoped, dare, or dream for, especially given difficult background, okay, around your work endeavors. Despite the fact that you're skilled and experienced, it's not something that was easily done. Whatever this dream you dared to dream is coming true with a lot of work and a commitment to that work. And Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. God, it's being worked out. It's being worked out as we speak. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of insight. And a strong sense of contribution, sharing ideas. Over a missed opportunity, it's being rectified. Wow. Wow. All right then. Yeah, missed opportunities being rectified. You're but one person in there. There's someone else in there too helping you do this. The strong minds are circling around the table. Good job. Good job. But I can't seem to see more on this piece. I suppose you will know in time. When something in your emotional dynamic changes or shifts a little bit, that's when you seem to enter this sense of course correction regarding with what looks like now a career piece, a work piece, a missed opportunity that represents your happiness as well as a way to navigate your larger goals, something you would dare not dream. For others of you who want to know if it's relationships, it could be. Who am I to say? I don't want it to hold out for anything that's false hope, but this looks so solid. There is a meeting of minds here. On a snowy day, an indication for some of you, a snowy day, i.e. winter. On an afternoon, for some of you this is the upcoming winter cycle, or whenever there is a snow day, perhaps. That would indicate soon, or by your next cold season, okay? Within 3 months, for others of you, 10 years for others of you, this is an acknowledgement of something that's been taking the better part of a decade of your life. That could very well have some real movement within the next 3 months. Wow. You're not the first person to show me things about long-term goals when we're talking long-term. My. Very good. What's going on? Anything else in here, please? The crossing, initiation, it begins soon. The portal on the other side. Your life, your story is about to change a wee bit. It's the initiation. You're going to enter into that new cycle soon. My. Whale song. Oh, that's beautiful. You know what the key word here to whale song is? Resonating. You either resonate with this or you don't. 61:54. Scorpio, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me, Pisces. What's going on for Pisces? Show me Pisces. I think one more. Show me Pisces, please. Yeah. The Moon, you. The power card straight away. All right, the Magician. You're like, what I'm manifesting is nobody's business. My. Clammed up a little bit. Like, that's my business, though. The Moon, the Magician, the Three of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, GOG. What could you be manifesting? I'm chuckling because it's funny. But you're like, it's secret. Stop it. Ace of Cups. I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. No. Nine of Cups, Ace of Swords, Six of Wands. Well, you pulled it off because you pleased his punch. Like, okay, here we go. Seven of Swords, the Tower, Four of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Okay. The Moon, the Magician, Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. There is someone here clearly outside of you, and we want to connect with them. But the thing is, it's like your manifestation's running so deep, just so long as you acknowledge it, it'll be okay. Okay? For now, I'm taking this as an active secret. In other words, you're keeping it to yourself. But it would please you a great deal. So let's just get this out the way. That's an active secret. In other words, you're not unaware of it. You know, but you're keeping them to yourself. And I understand that. Sometimes we keep our secrets. Sometimes we must. Why? If I were to take a guess, it was because you connecting to this would please you so deeply, it's almost like you don't dare admit it to yourself. That would be the rough translation. Okay? So like, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. I barely know. I mean, I barely know, but you know. You do. That's active. Like I said, it's all right if you keep secrets. Just don't keep them from yourself, because that's when we get into trouble. Okay? Acknowledge it. It's like, I want to connect with that person real bad. And I know you do. I got news for you. You triumph. You're triumph. That's why I'm giving a chuckle, because you're showing me triumph. You're like, I did it. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. At Knight of Pentacles, someone seems to be joining you of their own free will. I see this person as being very solidly outside of you, the one that we're trying to manifest. Now, what that Three of Cups looks like to you, that's up to you. I just know that you very much deeply desire to connect with it and or reconnect with it, bare minimum. Okay? But you're like, nobody needs to know. Nine of Cups, Ace of Swords. You're showing me triumph. High levels of triumph. Like, I did that. Oh, I did it. Yes, you did. You are very pleased. We are pleased. So when you connect with this person, I have no idea, but this is what you're doing. Oh. And you're going to keep it to yourself, though. I believe it's kind of, I don't know how, because you're grinning so hard, right? Nine of Cups, the Ace of Swords, Six of Wands. I mean, you are showing me triumph. I connected with that, and I did it successfully, and they responded. Yeah. That's all in here. My list might have kicked off there for a second. I said successfully. I'm not sure what else it is I might have heard, but it was successfully. It might have been a naughty word, but I didn't mean it that way. That was the list. Okay. Nine of Cups, Ace of Swords, Six of Wands. Yeah, no, that's triumph. That's triumph. It's on a neon sign. It's radiating off your forehead. Triumph. I did it. Recognition. Oh, yeah. Bragging rights. Whatever it is you want to call it. It's... Manifestation works. Yeah, it does. It can too. Just as I'm saying, don't keep it a secret to you. Openly acknowledge it. Okay. Because if you keep it a secret to you, you will not get the results that you're saying you want/don't want. That's the results you will get in return. The results you do/don't want. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Now, this bottom row, let's talk about that. Seven of Swords, the Tower. Four of Swords, Nine of Swords. Well, it's like, well, shit. Now that I got what I wanted, what do I do with it? So, I'm proud of you, first of all. Seven of Swords, the Tower. When we kind of stopped denying, okay, that we wanted this, like I said, you got results, right? So it's like, by all means, keep it a secret to you. Just don't keep it a secret from you. Big difference. So Seven of Swords, the Tower, we stopped denying this. We stopped kind of leaning, I don't want that. We stopped doing that. We blew that premise up. And then what happened? You got results. Yes, you got results. Good. You openly acknowledged it. You called bullshit. We jump over here, 4 swords, 9 of swords. It's like, now that I got it, I did it, I connected to it, go me. I'm a proud fish. But, like, what now? What do I do with it? What happens when the dog catches the car, right? So you caught something. So your next step after that is to try to go within and to appease your anxiety or stress around this. And 4 swords, you're showing me I need to be calm. I just need to reflect, and I'm going to learn as I go. I'm going to learn as I go. I'm going to learn as I go. I'm just not going to fall into the same trap of putting it off or acting like it's not important. This is what I'm going to do. Pisces, this is what we're going to do. Every time we have a stress or we have a worry about this, now that I have triumph, every time I have a stress or every time I have a worry, I'm going to put it to rest. I'm going to reflect on it. I'm going to give it some thought. I'm just not going to ignore it, because bad things happen when we ignore these things. We want to deal with these stresses, worries, as they come up. Now, that 9 of swords may not be all that, but it might be to you, okay? Point is that I see you actively dealing with it. Whenever something provokes in me stress or anxiety, I'm going to be quiet with it. I'm going to let it talk its talk. I will listen to it, and then I will rationally conclude why it's false. There you go. So I see you very much trying to not give in to any pressures or anxieties from the inside, so that way you can stay tuned with this on the outside. Make sense? It does to me. I think you did great. I'm just... your reaction is just... You've ever been to the carnival, right? And it's like, test your strength. And those things are purposely designed to either be way too hard or way too easy. Either way you lose, right? So you hit the thing with your hammer there, and it went past the dinger bell and it flew off the machine and into this guy, because that was your reaction here. Ding, 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 ding. And it broke the thing. Okay. So, it broke it, but you didn't lose though. No. You hit a headspace that was so high. That's why I'm laughing. You know, I don't know. It makes me chuckle. Now, I had to give Libra a little talk because they had a similar headspace, but then they got backlash for it. So yours is more of a very, very, very strong but very silent internal knowing of accomplishment. Let's get some advice, please. At 5 of Swords, the Lovers, the 9 of Cups. Oh, yes. Okay. So we have strong connection here, of course. Here's the thing. Whatever self-sabotaging tendencies we had, I can't confront this, or I can't address it, or I can't talk to them. That was part of the avoidance and self-sabotage. So did you just hear the words I used? I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't talk to them. I can't confront them. I can't connect with them. I can't. Okay, so that's a great example of when people are talking themselves into or out of. And that's a no-no. It's the most simplest form of self-sabotage you can have. And guess what? Human beings are awesome at it. It is so easy to slip into that 5 of Swords, which is just a couple away from the 7, which is active avoidance. Okay? It is super easy. Okay? Especially when we get hit with those strong connections where we just want to, 9 of Cups, we want to open up towards it. Oh my God, this feels so good to me. I can't go anywhere near it. And that's when we started talking ourselves out of it or away from it. You know? And if you had to talk yourself into it, then it's probably not that strong Lover's connection. We're hoping it is. Whatever this is, you hit triumph, and it felt correct because it's looking like we stopped talking ourselves into it, or rather out of it, you know? And that's good. That's a good thing. And understand that this Lover's connection is a direct reflection of how we love ourselves. The more we understand we love ourselves, the more likely we are to extend ourselves to wish fulfillment and actually enjoy what's ours. Okay? All right. at midnight on a Thursday. Don't know where that midnight's coming from, but perhaps some of you are late owls, late night owls, you know. Perhaps Thursday. Perhaps you had some really strong influence on a Thursday time at midnight. Let's see. That's for some of you. Others of you at noon, 12 to 12. 12 to 12, eh? Interesting. Why is that so interesting to me? Midnight to noon, 12 hours, reference exactly, approximately 12 hours. What you concluded at midnight, did it still feel the same by noon? I'm not sure. But anyway, Thursday. What, Thursday? I don't know. But it says sooner rather than later, because I'm not saying months or seasons or years, which is good. So sooner rather than later. Let's put it that way. Okay. The perfect storm. The courage to step into life. Cool. Go right into the eye of the storm. You can either see that as threatening, in which case that's more like the Seven of Swords. We're going to avoid that. And avoid. Okay. Or you can be one of those weirdos that can fly right into the eye of the storm and take this on. It seems, though, the perfect storm, the courage to step into life, you know. The circumstances surrounding this suggest just right. The timing's just right. You're going to put yourself or insert yourself right into the center of it. Number 44. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, Pisces. I hope this helped you. Good luck to you. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on? I have to tell you, as soon as I sat down for your reading, I heard Bowie's Man Who Sold the World. Now, mind you, it wasn't Bowie's original version. It was actually Nirvana's version, and it was so loud. It's very distinct. And famously, their version of Man Who Sold the World unplugged and live for MTV, if I recall correctly. That was Nirvana's version. I always thought Kurt Cobain's vocals added something extra to the song. But we passed upon the stair. We spoke of what wasn't when. I'm sorry, I know I'm butchering it. I'm tired. Anyway, if that has any significance to you, please do let me know. It's very interesting. I think, yes, yours is probably the first musical reference I had today. There you go. Show me Cancer, please. Show me, let's do one more. Show me Cancer, please. We spoke of wasn't when. Okay, Strength. Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Fool. Okay. King of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Star. It means a lot to you, I get it. 3 of Pentacles, Judgment. And yeah, 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Cups. Okay. This is going to be what 2 people put into it, so let's make that clear. It's not just all resting on you or your shoulders. This is active participation between yourself and someone else. Strength, 8 of Swords, and Queen of Cups, the Fool. You know, you're showing me a huge strength of will to turn around and address something at last, right? 8 of Swords, procrastination, blindness. I don't want to deal with this. There's nothing to deal with. There's nothing to acknowledge. No, I don't want to. So indeed, depending on how deep that 8 of Swords runs for people, and it can run pretty darn deep, I can see whole decisions halted on the sense of, I can't deal with this. And if we really allow ourselves to believe that, then we will get the results of that conviction. In other words, we will do nothing. So you're showing me strength of heart and going from a place of frozen fear, I can do nothing, to that's just not true. And this is great. I love seeing strength override stuff like that. It's wonderful. And granted, it's not easy. It does indeed take strength of will. And it's like, I don't know everything, but I know what I feel. And in this respect, you are trusting yourself 100%. You're trusting what you feel more than what your mind is not allowing you to experience or see or acknowledge. So indeed, you're using strength of will to kind of suppress that sense of no, dead end. No. Your heart's like, no, that's just not right for me. Queen of Cups, the Fool. What you're opening up towards, I don't know. I just know that from your heart space's point of view, this is more correct than the suppression. Okay? I like the way you're opening up. You're taking a risk, and you're taking a risk from the heart. But I don't think you'd be doing it. I know you wouldn't be doing it, honey, if it didn't feel correct. And I don't know how long your mind was trapping you. I know that it was trapping you long enough that you had to use strength, like I said, to suppress that fear. So your heart space is looking soft and relaxed. I am going to go ahead and take a guess. This is where you are now. Okay. You seem to be opening up from the heart and taking a risk. And it's like these negative thoughts be damned. And it's interesting, too. The King of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Star. Again, it's a continuation of your opening line. So not only did you get your heart in order, now you're forcing your mind to get itself in order, too. Which is like, you use strength of will to suppress the negative thoughts. You openly acknowledge what you're feeling, and you're going to thrust yourself forward. How or why or what the conditions are, I don't know, but you would. And now your mind's like, okay. I'm a little more comfortable addressing the once hidden thoughts. I'm a little more comfortable addressing the once hidden actions. I can see myself thinking, saying, and doing things now. Okay? So now you're getting your mind back into shape here about something that's important to you, the Star. We're openly acknowledging this. And it's not easy for you. It's not easy for you. But you're saying, this is important to me. I see that now. First, I kind of had to acknowledge what I was feeling and be open towards it. And now that I have, mentally I'm doing the same. Why does this desire, why does this hope provoke so much fear in me? Why does it provoke so much sense of I can't do anything? What is going on with me that I would think and feel this way? Why was I holding myself back? Why was I suppressing myself this long? You will have those answers within you because only you can really understand and determine how big that star is to you and acknowledging it and all the things that it provokes in you. And it's something you either really hope for, desire, and wish to be guided by, or it's not. But the fact that you're acknowledging whatever this is and how important it is to you, and you won't be held back from it anymore. You know. You won't try to sell yourself out of your own dream, I suppose. In reference to Man Who Sold the World. You don't want to keep selling your dream anymore? Okay, stop saying that it's not important to you, because it is. Something like that. Now, down to that bottom row where it takes two. Indeed it does. Three of Pentacles, Judgment, Ten of Swords, Three of Cups. I have two people here who have to be willing to connect over the same lessons or similar lessons. Okay? Because it is two are involved here. To make peace or amends over this. I think the biggest part for you, by far, was acknowledging that you wanted to. That was hard for you. Okay, I think you're prideful and or willful Cancer. And for whatever reason, this was really hard for you to acknowledge that you wanted to do this at all. Okay? And you did. There will be cooperation from someone else. All right? But you both have lessons to acknowledge here regarding pain and owie, you know? And I laugh because Ten of Swords is hard to define. It doesn't necessarily constitute nor guarantee an ending. It can lean in that direction, but more often than not, it represents a lot of pain. But depending on how you view pain, you can either see it as a final thing, or you can see that there is a new dawn for a new day, as indicated by the yellow ribbon, which indicates sunrise, not sunset. In other words, hope. There's hope for these two if they can meet in the same time in the same place to acknowledge the same lessons of pain. And this is what I learned, and this is what you learned. Okay, let's take it from there. But like I said, the biggest background noise for you, by far, was getting to that space that this is what you needed to do for you. And so it's very specific. It's either yours or it's not. I can't dictate anything. This is either with you or it's not. This kind of suppression of these thoughts is either with you or it's not. Your heart space wanting to open up and take a risk, and then your mind gets on board later. That's either with you or it's not. You knowing that you wanted to do this and finally allowing yourself to acknowledge its importance in your life. That's either with you or it's not. But there is one element that is outside of you, and it's comparable to your experience. They were indeed, whoever this is, part of a shared lesson. You both have to bring what you've respectively learned and therefore know to the table to make it cooperate. After that, I couldn't say. But the fact that you got to that point at all, that's kind of a big deal for you. Yeah? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. Queen of Cups, Three of Wands, King of Swords. Wow. Repeating elements in you. Okay. Gosh, it's almost like your heart was literally waiting on your mind to acknowledge the truth of it. Because that's how I see it in the order of things too. Isn't that wild? Your heart's more willing to open up and acknowledge what's going on than your mind. You spend a lot of time trying to suppress the thoughts. And your heart is so much bigger than that. Gosh, it's like your heart's looking at you. Both those elements are yours, honey. Queen of Wands. I'm sorry, excuse me, the Queen of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the King of Swords. It's like, this is what your heart was doing. Hey, if I'm big enough to admit this, you are too stubborn. Can we sync up, please? Between what I'm feeling and what you know? Stop acting like you don't know, head. You know. And I'm telling you. Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for you to acknowledge me? And it's like, sorry, I was late. I just, until this moment in time, I wasn't ready to look at these things. Yeah, well, that's why I'm here, okay? I'm here to tell you what you're feeling. Because your mind was too busy rejecting your thoughts. Yeah. Okay, anything else, please, in terms of advice? Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands. Man, we really fought ourselves mentally about this calling, about this cooperation, learning and exchanging lessons. We really fought this. We really fought this, like super duper fought this, particularly as it regards communication. Wow. You know, in respect to that communication, whatever form it may take, if we weren't able to have an honest conversation with ourselves, and the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords pretty much makes it impossible for us to have an honest conversation with ourselves, then you wouldn't have been prepared to talk to the other, whoever that involves either. So whoever that is to you, I have no idea. I just know that it took literally two to contribute to the lessons of the dynamic of pain between you two. So the communication wouldn't have been effective either until you were able to see that you wanted to do this at all, whatever this is. We'll call it repair friendship for now, because it's just easier at this point. Until you acknowledged it, your communication wouldn't have been effective anyway. So there wouldn't have been a point, you know? Like I say, we often, see, look at this. The bigger part, literally the bigger parts of you. You were more emotionally ready than you were mentally ready to accept this. And once that falls into place, that need to deny or block the thoughts and therefore actions comes down. Okay? Which means your communication will be easier in regards to whatever that connection is to you. Okay? But it's nice to see you're addressing it. I think you're ready to talk about it now. At noon? Of what day? I don't know. Oh, for some of you at noon on a Friday. Don't you love it when you get direct answers? Also, they can be very cheeky. And it's like, well, patience. And for other folks, at noon on a Friday. Yeah. Oh, tis the way of the universe, eh? What is it? Anything else here, please? Mm-hmm. The netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. 42. Mm-hmm. The netcaster. Cast your net and then gather appropriately. Your resources, your words, your thoughts, your feelings, whatever it is that's meant to be expressed, you will catch accordingly. Okay? But preparations. Number 42. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Skywriting. You're not the first person to get this, but I don't remember who else did. Skywriting is the fates. You know, cast your net and the fates will land it appropriately. Number 49. What shall be is what shall be. Cancer, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.